Hello and welcome back, if you even left, welcome back to the Frost Esports Whiteout Weekly. Now, we've moved on from the quarterfinals, Jay, and now we're here for the semi-finals. So it's serious. It's very serious.
An absolute joke before, but now that we're here in the semis, now that one game separates these teams from the grand finals, strictly business.
Strictly, every one of these players, every one of these 10 players is wearing their best suit. They changed into it from the last game. And the teams that we have now, I guess I should talk about a little bit more than their attire. We are going to be watching 10x Gold against Ethereal 5. Now, Jay, I'm a little bit worried about you in this game because there's a Jason on Ethereal 5, but there's a Jay on 10x Gold. As a Jay,
Right.
how do you feel?
I'm playing on both teams and casting the tournament.
Wow, it's impressive to meet a real. You hear about Renaissance men, but they're always in the past, and it's nice to meet one. Not
Uh-huh.
physically, obviously, but online.
Right, right.
Now it looks like we might be going to Haven for the first map, and when I say the first map, I do mean the only map because this is another best of one, leading up to the best of three grand finals. And it seems that I'm pretty confident at this point that we're going to be going to Haven, the only three-site map in Valorant or any tac shooter that I'm aware of. So it's going to be interesting to see how they choose to attack it. We got an unusual comp in our last game. I'm hoping we get some more unusual and interesting comps in this game.
I am a big fan of the shenanigans, and Haven definitely the map to do it. Having three sites, although the issue with having three sites, B is notorious for being so open. You can hold B from just about as many angles as you can think of and more. So definitely a dangerous site to find yourself on. However, really hoping the teams will take advantage of it because that's where the excitement happens, is right smack dab in the middle of the map.
Exactly. And I think we're going to see a real brawl here. Both teams have had to win their way up to this point. Obviously, that's the way tournaments work. If you're just tuning in, I can't go over all the details of tournaments, but they both did have to win a lot to get to this point. So I'm expecting to see some pretty crisp gunplay on one of Valorant's most famous maps. I think mostly what we're looking for here, especially in the modern meta, is a lot of Fade and Raze utility. So Fade is the newest agent, and one of her abilities allows her to hold people in place in a big circle. And Raze, one of the oldest agents, does have a grenade, which is very useful if you know that people are standing in a little circle. So I expect that's been very popular in pro play on Haven recently. So maybe we're going to see some of that new tech implemented here by these teams, or maybe we're going to see something completely different.
And whether it be new tech or completely different, both teams winning 4 games in a row to get here. So if you pull up your match history, I doubt that all of you in Twitch chat have won that many games in a row recently, and it's probably just a wall of red, but that would be the same for me. I'm not the right person to talk. Hachi, however, has been
Oh,
on a pretty big win streak. Minus the one.
thank you for
Looking
calling.
very
Yes,
looking very green. Looking very
thank
green.
you. I ended on a loss because you gotta call it somewhere. And actually,
Play till you lose.
play till you lose. Great strategy. And actually, both of these teams will be using that strategy today, whether they want to or not. They're gonna stop playing when they lose. We are already into the champ select, so let's see what we got here. We got 10x Gold here. We'll be defending on Haven, which means Ethereal 5 have no choice but to attack, and the picks are coming in. We do see a Fade on the side of Ethereal 5, but no Fade on 10x. They're going with a more traditional Breach, Killjoy. Back on that Jet, they don't even have a chamber, so they're into sort of I think they're going with a classic Valorant feel, whereas Ethereal 5 are going for some shenanigans, as you would say, Jay. They're up to
I
shenanigans.
love shenanigans.
And we're seeing,
Shenanigans.
yeah.
I was just gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
shenanigans are just about one of my favorite parts of this game. As you can get into the loop of so many rounds played. They're so textbook. It's just the same thing over and over again. But that one round that one team decides to mix it up, well, most of the time it works out as long as the strategy has some sort of realism backing it. But I do like the occasional mix up. The players officially dropped in, and we will see how round one, the big pistol round, unfolds.
Yeah, this will be exciting. We do have the traditional team on defense this time, but this is the second game we've cast tonight, and a second game with an unusual Neon pick. Neon, not known for being on Haven, can be useful in C-Long, can be useful in ranked games, but hasn't seen a lot of pro play on this map. I'm very curious how Ethereal 5 are going to be putting them to use here. And no information gathering initiators on the side of 10x Gold. They don't have a Sova, they don't have a Fade. So I'm curious how that'll work out for them on attack. Right away, we're seeing some pressure up to your favorite site, Jay. It's B. The neon wall splits them through to that A link. And it looks like Ethereal 5, they don't even care for B either. You know, too open for them, I suspect, and they make their way from B to A, where they find Jay waiting for them. Wow! And 3 kills for Zoomer.
Lots of back and forth coming out. Zoomer picking up 3 to equalize. Imposter trying to pick up that one, but gets peeked on. And it looks like the defense holding strong. Maybe that B push, unfortunately, not the best move. Although exciting, not quite working out in their favor as 10x Gold able to take round number 1.
Yes, I think the sneaking around through A from behind has become more and more of a popular strategy in the last couple of months, and it's pretty clear that 10x, you know, even if maybe they're not super used to it, but they were aware enough to turn around and say, oh, I see, they're at the back door. We'll just we'll stop them there then. We don't need to keep looking long. We don't need to keep looking sewers. But I think that neon wall onto B was actually fairly successful in gaining space. And now you can see Neon has made her way into garage with, I think, a shorty to start us off here, putting a lot of pressure onto C this time, hopping around and getting a lot of attention. But so far, nothing much to show for it, as 2 attackers will go down. Nobu gets a kill just to keep it from being flawless. Ooh, and Zoomer goes down due to a cheeky little position from Jason in spawn, and the spike, oh, I was even fooled, and I can see the mini-map. The spike was never there. It was never on the C site. It's making its way A now in a 2v3 with a Marshall in tow.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Almost a good peek there for Jason. Perhaps a bit of shenanigans, if you will. The spike, not exactly where you'd think. The fake play, as we are going to get some action underway. A site. This radio looking around does make visual contact. The ult coming out. Tanax able to pick up 2. Now just has to defuse, and well, they are off to, as what I would like to say, the best start that they could ask for.
Yeah, 2-0. Well, you can't do much better than keeping them at 0. But it hasn't been clean, you know, losing 2 here. And I think they've been caught off guard a couple of times by Ethereal 5's plays. If I was, and I can see the minimap, then I'm confident they were a lot of pressure there on C. And now Ethereal 5 might have some sort of read about who's playing on what site. They've been to B, even if they only were passing through it. They've been to A, they've been to C. And now they've got the guns and the economy on their side. So you can see here, we've got a couple of rifles on the attacking side and just Spectres, Frenzies on the defense. So it'll be hopefully an attack around, get themselves on the board here.
This would be a crucial round, as losing this one would put them in a bit of a downward spiral, as we did see in the last series. So all of the Ethereal 5 fans out there cheering for their heroes on offense. The dog coming out. Jason back away a little, couldn't pick it off the first time. Will get it on round 2. Nasty holding that midfield push, but we see on the other side all of Ethereal 5. They're pushing onto A. They're looking to make a name for themselves. They do make it onto site. Spike going down in the action, only just about to unfold.
And Jason here in a nice spot can hear all of the players' rotations and is calling out, yep, some people are still making their way through B. So 5-on-5 retake, just Spectres and Frenzies here on the side of 10x Gold, but Jason's position is expected. Nasty takes him out, and now it's going to be a little bit harder to hold the site down. They've already got the plant, but for this to be a successful round for Ethereal 5, they want to keep at least 3 players alive, and that's all they have left. 2v3, Spike still ticking, and it looks like, wow, unbelievable work by 10x Gold. They come up with it, and there it is, your namesake on 10x.
That was me.
The defuse. That was you.
I'm defusing the bomb, the spike right now. Just got the defuse. I'm up 3-0 in this series. Way to go, me.
I should have expected. The ultimate shenanigans is to be a caster player. That's high level of shenanigans.
You can't hear it, but whenever I'm not actively talking on the broadcast here, I am communicating with my 4 other lovely teammates, making sure that they know all of the information that I know. That is why we are up 3-0 currently.
It makes so much sense. It adds up. Ethereal 5, I mean, they lost all their rifles. They're in a rough position now, but the economy, not completely broken. They will have a half buy here, some Phantoms, some Spectres. The Astro Star is going down on C, a pretty good indication that they're looking to hit there. Fade making her way into the cubby, and those Astral Stars continue to pile onto the site. It's a C hit, and Kim has suspected the garage push, takes out the Neon. Two traded back, though. The attackers are very aware of these defenders' positions at this point. Oh, but Nasty is nasty. What a well-named player. 2v3 on the retake here for 10x Gold.
Spike now planted. 10x Gold looking to be able to retake site, but a pick is going to leave it into a 1v3 favoring Ethereal 5, as now all they have to do is hold the site. They are all positioned holding those corners that they know oh so well. If I were me, I would probably just walk into one of those corners. Oh wait, I do not believe that I am playing currently. I am, although I might be. We still aren't quite sure if that is me on the pitch, but it looks like a save
like
coming out from Zoomer. Just, you know, don't lose the op. Just keep it.
Don't lose the op, yeah. Especially 350 credits in your pocket. You can't afford another one if you lose. So let's keep this one. Taking the traditional save spot. Zoomer holding sewer, but they're not going to go hunting. Honestly, Ethereal 5 just happy to get on the board. 3-1, a comfortable place to be. They're buying up into it. And now we might see Tanax on a bit of a save here. They're going to have one player who can't afford a rifle or even a Spectre. They're going to go to just a Stinger for D Kim, but that's okay. They're still Killjoy. They still have all their utility to hold a site down, and that C site is still well trapped. It's looking like they're going to get aggressive right out of B to begin with, try to take some mid control. And at the same time, Ethereal 5 is going to explore A, a site they've only hit late in the round, but now they're trying to creep their way up long, and they're confirming, yep, the Neon has seen. There's nobody hiding back A long. Spike has been retrieved, and Ethereal 5 going to make their way onto this A site cautiously, and the read is not good here from 10x. They've got two players on C, two players on B, and I think their flanker is going to be flanked by Chamber here, as long as Jason keeps his wits about him. That will confirm it now. The Fade ultimate coming onto the site finds no information, which tells them everything they need to know. No defenders here. Everybody's stacked up on this CT side. Nobody even going heaven yet for 10x Gold. It's a 5v5 retake. Again, this time without pistols.
It seemed like 10x Gold a little bit prideful of their presence on B, not able to get the lead on the A side push, as 3 picks already coming out, going to dwindle the 10x Gold side as another one comes out, as now 10x Gold, they find themselves in a very rough situation.
They do, and this time Jay's looking to save a Vandal, but we just saw you gotta get out of there, Jay. Good job. And Jason, we saw, picked up the op. That's gonna be a big game changer here. Usually on attack side, you don't want to have an op, but if you're Jason, I think is the Chamber player, yep, then you are feeling yourself right now. A really cheeky box position I want to call out. He got up onto this box on A long, sat there, and I thought nobody could see the spike, but actually Jason could just see the corner where the defenders would have to come around to defuse the spike. That's how he got those 2 quick picks, and then he could tell his team, all right, they're pushing in now, and they got a couple of seconds of wasted utility from the defenders just by having Jason there to spot things out. So that was a really smooth play from Ethereal 5 to get their second and their first op.
Creativity starting to show for Ethereal 5. They just needed the economy to back it. So now Jason gonna try and hold this angle. Player rotating across, and what a good pick from Zoomer.
Wants the op back, I think. And I mean, Jason, the word got out on 10x Gold. They said, this guy loves boxes. Check the tops of boxes. He'll be there. Ethereal 5, though, making that A hit again, this time without a Chamber to hold their flank. So you can see the Astra is going back there to take a peek at it. As 10x Gold take up their usual positions, this time Radio will take heaven. Oh, trying to spam it out with a Stinger, but it's a little too late, as the players from CT provide a little cover fire. And again, Ethereal 5 back off pretty deep onto A. They're really comfortable giving up the site and telling the defenders, yeah, come on in. When you tap the spike, we'll make ourselves known. But until then, we don't need to go fight you. Imposter does find the flank from Zoomer. The Breach ult resets the defuse, but Dagger's not able to find anything. Chow traded out. 2v3, Spike still sticking. Oh, Imposter is going to stop another defuse. Doesn't suck, but stuns. Oh my goodness! A 1v1, but no time. And Nasty will be the last to fall as Nobu cleans up the round and ties us up at 3. Jay, I know you were playing in that round. How did it feel from the server?
Oh, from the server, I lost that one due to lag. The ping was a little bit too high for me.
Yeah.
But I digress. 10x Gold really playing against time towards the end there after the spike came down. The spike in a very advantageous spot for Imposter, so it was hard for them to hold a defuse as Imposter able to shut everything down whenever they tried to defuse. Just peek that angle A long and shut down the defuse. They weren't even able to get it halfway. Imposter, a great job holding it, tying up the game, and when it looked like 10x Gold had the defense on lockdown, Ethereal 5 bringing out some new tricks and tying.
Look at that. A fast plant, and again, they give up the site. They just hold themselves mid. They've got an alarm bot holding out of A, but they still have Imposter holding that angle as well. They're very aware of a flank, but actually 3 players in garage, 2 players on the site, and the window's already smoked off. I'm not sure how Ethereal 5 will retake the spike here once the defuse comes through. I guess I'm about to find out. The diffuser is killed. And reset. The Astra utility is used to perfection here. And an up-close op is not a great weapon, but Zoomer makes it look easy. No time, though, and the round will go the way of Ethereal 5. Holy cow. Is the op going down? It is! Wow.
So unfortunate for Zoomer there on the brute force op play, if you will, just barreling in, getting that pick, but just not enough time on the spike left to get the defuse. And once again, 2 rounds in a row, 10x Gold find themselves playing not only against Ethereal 5, but also against the clock, beginning to become their biggest opponent.
It really
is. If they're going to play from outside the side and play on that retake on defense, they're going to need to start making those plays in sooner, because 2 rounds consecutively now, they've found themselves having to play through time.
Zoomer finds the first pick here, but is traded out by Nobu, and Imposter finds one in Sewer at the same time. That's going to leave 10x Gold in a rough position, as I think they're just on Sheriffs this round. Only 2 Sheriffs left, as the A site, the most popular site this game, I gotta say, will be the target again. Low health here. Nobu is caught, but Shao will close out the round as Nasty falls. That's 5 on the board and more plant money for Ethereal 5. They're looking so clean, and I think 10x Gold, they're like we talked about the comps earlier, they have a classic comp. They're playing Haven in a classic way. Their setup looks really strong, but Ethereal 5 are trying something. They're trying some shenanigans and some new stuff at the same time. I mean, taking the site forcefully, planting, and then backing all the way off. They can't even see the bomb, but they use that Astra utility, they use the Neon Wall, they use the Breach ult, all to get back on, to buy more time, and to make the defenders check every corner every time for nothing. Jason finds the first kill on his counterpart. Zoomer goes down as Daggers finds another on the A site, another 2 on the A site with the ult. It's looking like another easy round for Ethereal 5 in this 2v5.
Ethereal 5, really strong comeback from them, as 10x Gold won the first 3 rounds consecutively. Now Ethereal 5 responding with a consecutive 5, playing this newer style, as you mentioned, the old go-to style, if you will, for 10x Gold, just not able to hold up against this new tech. DChem almost gets a pick into one of the Ethereal 5 players, but backs off. Imposter gets another pick, and now it's just Nasty left. 5
trying to save this op.
Such a heavy offensive.
What an incredible ult. Gets away with the op, but can they keep saving it? They're so aware of this Neon. You could see them checking their own spawn constantly. Dagger's got that 2k to start the round off. And they really, a Neon could be anywhere on the map. They can move so quickly, so easily, that you've got to be watching every corner. Nasty just trying to save the most valuable gun they can. Keep their team in this. 3-6. And the offense, the attacking side has 6. That's pretty rare for Haven. It is an attack-sided map, but not this attack-sided. And there we go, 10x Gold. They're seeing the same thing we're seeing. Obviously, Jay is casting and playing, so he's saying, you know, guys, I'm listening to Hachi Machi. I don't think we're doing so hot.
Don't think the old school style working out for us. Indeed, thinking that talking to my team right now as we speak. I'm talking twice at once. Don't worry about the logistics of it, but really making sure that we all have a fundamental understanding that this Ethereal 5 team coming out very strong with these very aggressive pushes onto site, always finding success. And now 10x Gold find themselves in a situation where they're going to need to find a counter, and it's really hard on a map like Haven where you have to defend 3 sites. So
Yeah,
perhaps not necessarily stopping the push is what 10x Gold needs to worry about, but
totally.
instead of uh, they need to worry about the response, how they are retaking the site, make sure they are one cohesive unit. But the timeout going to find its way to a closing halt. 10x Gold hopefully coming up with something a little bit new, having a nice conversation, figuring out a way to respond on these site retakes.
And you can see already there's some pings on the attacker side here. Ethereal 5 are saying this A long is usually open, and 10x Gold are still leaving it open. They've got a Jet up top on B, but they've got Nasty down in sewer. So if the A hit comes, at least Nasty will trade one out with this shorty if they don't check it. And they don't have a Sky. They don't have anything really to check this corner besides Fade utility. Oh, which will find him. Holy cow, Nasty has been found out, tries to swing with the shorty, finds nothing. And already the round is looking good for Ethereal 5.
And this A site seems to be what they're favoring still. No
But
one
look
but
at
Zoomer
this.
on the op might have an early chance, but it looks like
They've backed
Ethereal
off.
5 actually rotating out. They
know.
continue to even throw us off.
Yep, I mean they know they went through exactly the same thought process you went through. They could 10x Gold is saying to themselves in that timeout, hey, they keep hitting A. How are we going to hold A better? What's our plan? Maybe not for this round, but for the next round. And Ethereal 5, they say, great, we're going to show them that we're going A, and then we're going to leave. And now look at us. We're in a 5v4 retake situation in our favor. This KJ ult could come out from Kim in order to buy 10x Gold some space, although they've usually been given the site absolutely for free. The breach ult slows down D Kim, and now Nobu finds 2. It's looking so clean here from Ethereal 5. They do lose 1. The radio stinger, but I think that might be all. Ooh, look at this. Look at this little flank. Radio coming around behind, hoping to get another head. Will not find one. Nobu gets their 3rd.
Nobu picking that one up. 7 consecutive round wins now for Ethereal 5, showing no signs of slowing down. Nobu, I believe 18 kills on the board already. A very very heavy performance coming up for Nobu. Or is that 13?
It's actually 10, but I think 18's in their future. You know?
18. I expect 18.
It feels like 18.
Yeah, it feels like a lot more than what we are seeing. Nobu getting a lot of those very crucial picks, winning a lot of those crucial gunfights, and putting Ethereal 5 up 7-3 after they lost the first 3 rounds in a row. 10x Gold looks so strong, but
They really do.
Ethereal 5 got their economy together.
Ooh, look at this fight. Sorry to interrupt. Look at this fight in A lobby. Oh, Jason goes down, and now, for the first time, I think we've got a pretty successful flank coming out of this defensive team. 10x Gold have taken mid. The Seekers will find the spike. Do they get the pick? No, Zoomer not quite able to find it. And there it is. The spike is down in garage. This is a good round coming out of 10x Gold. If they can keep control of the spike, I think they're going to get their 4th. Wow, great flank there, finding 2. Ooh, but the Fade utility is too good out of Nobu. Even when they're not fragging, they're helping their team. Zoomer holding mid with the op, and Chow tucked into this cubby will probably be suspected. But are Ethereal even going to plant here? Or are they are going to plant in the seaside. I thought they would pull some more shenanigans.
Oh, no more shenanigans as the spike does go down on C. Zoomer holding this angle. Looks like there's going to be an interaction here soon, but Zoomer
Oh my goodness.
picked off, not quite expecting the Ethereal 5 player to already be there. Now, Radio last, but does get shut down by the op, and well, Ethereal 5 looked like they're just steamrolling through.
I don't think I've
Gold in the
seen.
semifinals.
I watch what some, including my doctor, would call an unhealthy amount of Valorant, and I've been warned
Sure.
several times by medical professionals to stop if I want to keep you know, my health and my well-being. But I will say, I don't think I've ever seen a team so willing to plant, and then they don't stick around, they don't check quarters, they plant and then they walk away like they are never coming back to this site. Like Ethereal 5 plant and then they go on vacation. And maybe 10 seconds later they think, should we check on the spike? And they go, no. Anyway, we're into the next round. It's just wild to watch, and I cannot blame 10x Gold for not being ready for this. A completely unique style. This time, going a lot slower, taking a little bit of presence here. They do still have a huge gun advantage on Ethereal 5, but now they're aware of this flank. This is the flank that worked out last time for Zoomer and for Radio. Ethereal 5 keen to it and looking to pick up a few early kills, but Zoomer is too quick with the knives. Daggers finds two, though. Wow, and the Neon is proving to be an excellent pick here. Presence shown on A, drawing a couple rotations. Now presence shown in Garage as well with the alarm bot going off on Jason. I think the defense doesn't know what site they're going to hit. They're just trying to keep themselves available for wherever the attackers end up. Astrostar's on C. The call's gone out. Presence noted, but they're not moving until that spike goes down. They've learned their lesson, I think, from the last couple rounds.
Don't want to get caught out. Indeed, spike will find its way down onto C once again. We saw them favoring A. Now numerous plants onto C as
Wow.
trying to get that pick, but Chow shutting it down immediately. Jay looking to move in here. Jason misses the pick, but will pick it up on to Jason. Nasty doing a good job.
Wow,
Jay
the
getting
wall
pick off
bang's so
Imposter.
close. Look at that. Right idea, just not quite connecting, and Dagris will finish the job off. Sorry you just died there, Jay. I wanted to give you a chance to play, so that's why I had to narrate those wall bangs. Wow.
I was doing my best, but you know, at the end of the day, this Ethereal 5 team just I can't stop them. I don't know.
No.
I don't know what I got to do, Hachi. What do I have to do?
Well, what you got to do is you got to not worry about stopping them anymore, because now you've moved over. You are going to be on the offense, so you've got to keep them from stopping you. So don't worry about it. Just attack some sites. Maybe B. We haven't been there very often, except for to pass through. I'm so curious how Ethereal 5 are going to look on defense, because that offense was completely different from what we're used to seeing. They didn't hold sites. They did a lot of walkabouts. And now I'm curious, is their defense a little more structured? Are they depending on having a lot of rounds coming into their defensive half and just hoping to get those next 4? I guess it's time to find out. Stop speculating. A big push up mid to get Garage control here from 10x Gold. And the Breach Util will force Nobu out. It's looking like a C hit. And there are 3 defenders here, 2 on their way. The Zoomer gets the first pick onto Jason. 10x Gold really want this round to get themselves to maybe a 5-9. Will be a little bit more easy to win. Daggers, though, good for 1. 4 defenders here in Garage, 4 on the C, 3 attackers on the C site. Oh, Nasty goes down to Dagris, who is on fire today.
1 enemy remaining.
Chow finds another. Chow finds 2, and that'll wrap it up. What a pistol round out of Ethereal 5.
Ethereal 5 winning that pistol round, showing that not only can they play well on offense, but bringing that really strong defense out. As we saw, the second that 10x Gold got onto site, Ethereal 5 had what, 3 defenders basically already rotated in, ready to slow down the plant, slow down the reposition. So very strong showing from Ethereal 5, and now that they've won the pistol round, the economy in their favor. If they get this round, then 10x Gold are going to find themselves in an almost impossible situation.
And even now, 3-10, 10x Gold are definitely talking about forcing up, making their economy a little bit shakier if they lose it. But at this point, it's not a situation of, oh, well, if we lose, maybe we can make it back later on. They need to win every round for 4 or 5 rounds just to even have the same economy, have the same kind of breathing room that Ethereal 5 have found in their attacking half. So 10x Gold, I imagine, are talking to themselves not only about strategy, but about how they're going to force up, who's getting what guns, and most importantly, how they're going to stop these flanks coming in from Ethereal 5. Because again, we've got Dagris on this Neon, just showing an incredible amount of map presence. They really don't know where this Neon could come at them from. The flank has been so strong in that pistol round. In almost every attacking round, Dagris managed to sneak into a position that they didn't expect and get a couple of kills. So we'll see how they play this post-plant position as we go back to the game. But I mean, if you're a 10x Gold fan, you're not without hope. 310's turned around, but you got to admit, Ethereal 5 are putting up some impressive numbers here.
Ethereal 5 doing a great job indeed. As now, on the side of 10x Gold, I almost wonder if it's a matter of just committing to one site and trying to catch them off guard, as with the 3 sites on this map, that maybe trying to catch the defense spread thin, try to force something in, but
Only
right
one way to
now
find out.
we're almost now's about time to see if they are going to do that. Early pick comes out from Zoomer. That
Really
will
nice
be a
pick.
good start from them.
Yeah, excellent shot there by Zoomer. And it looks like they will be making their way onto this B site. Nobu is going to confirm it with a little bit of util. But are they doing the classic B to A? Zoomer finds another, but Dagris finds 2, and Chow finds 1. It's now just a 2v2. Everything to play for here for 10x Gold. They make their way to the A site. The spike is going to go down, and that KJ utility might hold off the defenders and prevent the defuse if it comes to that.
2v2. We'll see if 10x Gold can find the... They have to defend this spike now. We'll see if they can hold. Ethereal 5 obviously been the favorites for the past, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. They've just been on fire. Nobu picks that one up. The spray through the smoke, trying to find the second. As
Deacon is
now
smoked
lost.
off. Oh, wow! Unbelievable! Oh, the awareness from Nobu. Sorry to interrupt. What was that? You throw your Fade utility into the smoke, and then while they're trying to shoot it, you kill them? That's so rude, Nobu. That's so rude! Oh man. And 11 on the board here for Ethereal 5.
Not only was that play right there just showing a good display of Ethereal 5's dominance, that was just disrespectful. There was no need for that. You were in the 2v1, you had site held, you had site smoked off, you had everything covered. There's no need to just spray for the kill, Nobu. Come on now, no need for that.
I didn't want to tell you, since you're playing as Jay, but I'm actually playing as Jason, and I heard Nobu on our team voice chat beforehand say, "Watch this," which is, there's just no need for that.
Right.
Presence has been spotted in window here as we start the round off, but it looks like 10x Gold is going to play slow. They've got much worse weaponry here. A Stinger, a Bulldog, a couple of Sheriffs, and Dagris has just taken another gun out of their hands as they go back to get their ult. Bad news here for 10x Gold. Ethereal 5 are looking to get 12 on the board, put themselves on match and, of course, series point. This is a best of 1. Oh! Nobu just misses. Zoomer has been so good in these early engagements. They found the first blood last time. They sneak away this time. A much slower B take here out of 10x Gold. And Zoomer, there it is. The first kill for their team, if not the first blood. Slowed onto sight. And can they find a second? They do. They get the Bladestorm online. They're up top, and they're looking for heads. Oh, but they're taken out 1v3. And that's that. Jason and Imposter clean it up and keep Ethereal. Oh, just Imposter left in the end. Keep Ethereal 5. But that train is going. 3 rounds at the beginning for 10x Gold. And then it's been the Ethereal 5 show for the last 12 in a row.
And Zoomer, such a good opening there, picking up 2, but they just couldn't make it stick on B. That was a very crucial round for them to win. They had the advantage, they had the momentum, but we just saw chaos ensue on B site, unable to make that push stick. And Imposter, the last man standing in the 5v5 shootout. Jason gonna look at this pick. The dog does come out. Potential saw the tip of the gun.
Wow, the wallbang successful, but it's not deadly. 10x Nasty does actually find a pick on the C site, or on the A site, I'm sorry, at the same time. And will they reconsider this A hit? They've got a kill, but they know there's an op here. A very dangerous gun for them to be going against with their weaponry. One Guardian. Oh, Jason finds Nasty. Trades himself back out, essentially. And it's just Jason on this A site. That might be all they need. 10x Gold is going so slowly, being so cautious. They're waiting for more mistakes because they know they need every advantage they can get in this round. Jason is back into sewer. Zoomer's looking for a head out of garage. Doesn't quite find it. And this could be devastating if Zoomer is caught out. Oh, but he never is. He never is. Jay takes one. Nice job, Jay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that was really good. I got your team onto site, and now the plan's going down on A, and the defenders have no idea. Or maybe they're just trying to save. No, they have no idea. Why save? You're up 9 rounds. Are they going to save? It looks like they might. Yeah, I guess, you know, what do I know? They're much smarter and much better players than I do. Their economy is actually in a rougher shape than I expected. 1,800 for Chow, 700 for Imposter. They want to hold on to these guns into the next round. Give as few rounds as possible to 10x Gold, who, look at this. 10x Gold holding every angle. This is the kind of defense that I expect to see. I expect to see 5 people on site, 1 looking from long, 1 in sewer, 1 in heaven. And they get out. They get the op and they get out. Crucial for Zoomer in the next round.
Zoomer has been the player to watch in these rounds, getting those really early picks, top of the scoreboard on the side of 10x Gold. Now, we see an interesting swing of events. 10x Gold will pick up that round as Ethereal 5 only 1 game, separating them from going into the grand finals. 10x Gold, now they have to give it their all. They're out of second chances. They need to start winning these rounds, and that one there, still having 4 alive at the very end, only losing 1.
Yeah.
Gonna be a good start for them.
Very good start. And now only 2 rifles, the 2 saved rifles on the side of Ethereal 5. This early utility helping them out, letting them know there are some players down C long, but they've got to be very careful. Pay 10x Gold a little bit more respect than they've been showing them so far. Some creeping down C long. The op will take up the angle. Imposters may be calling for help, and look at these flanks. They've taken so much map control. They're so aware of the possibilities, but Kim finds Nobu. Jason trades out Jay with their ult op. Can they? Oh my goodness, they find Zoomer's shoulder, and that's all it takes. Dagris is closing in as well. Now these players' position is so well known. Ethereal 5, fearless with these lesser weapons, just taking up as much map as they want, keeping these attackers stuck on C long. Will they still expect Imposter on site? Dagris finds another one. This C push has been held so well. Dagris finally goes down. DKim finds 3, and it's a 2v2. Can DKim ace for the win? No, Chow will take out DKim and wrap this map up. Ethereal 5, 13-4. Unbelievable.
No discredit to 10x Gold. They were definitely playing a good game of Valorant. Just the unique play style from Ethereal 5 proving to be the more dominant play style, having so much presence everywhere on all sides of the map. And on a map like this, you're going to need to be everywhere at once, and Ethereal 5 proving that they could do that.
Absolutely. And yeah, no discredit to 10x Gold at all. Zoomer especially had an absolutely banger game. 6 first bloods. I mean, that is real impact. Nasty had a great game. And even Jay, you had some excellent utility usage. I don't know if you had the stats for it, but I saw you helping your team out a lot. But Ethereal 5 just had that unusual plant and go play style on attack, and it netted them so many rounds that the defensive half for them almost felt just sort of like they were just ticking the box. You know, they were like, yeah, I guess we should do this too. We'll show up, we'll get a couple rounds, and then we'll go home. But they're not going home. They're actually going to go to the grand finals.
And the grand finals that they will go to, indeed. Let me update my bracket really quick, see if we already have an opponent over there. We do. Capy taking out Godspeed. Ethereal 5, we'll see if their unique playstyle can hold up in the grand finals against Capy. Best of 3 instead of the best of 1, so a second life added there. We will be back shortly with that, as we will go to a short break.
Hi, and welcome back to the Frost Esports weekly Whiteout Valorant tournament. We've finally made it, Jay. I was sick of these joke games that meant nothing. And
Too many
now,
shenanigans.
too many shenanigans. No shenanigans here, I'm sure. In the best of three grand finals, where it all comes down to this. If you right now had to pick a serious location that these teams are bunkered in, where would you say they are right now?
Pearl.
They are bunkered in the map Pearl. Well, it's exciting
Yes.
you chose that because so did the players. We will be seeing Pearl as the second map of this best of three. So we're guaranteed to see Pearl even if one team gets 2-0'd. We will be going to the latest map from Riot Games.
But for now, we will be beginning on the tried and true Haven. Such a classic. We did just see it. We did just see, speaking of, how Ethereal 5 played on Haven. Very
Yeah.
dominant performance coming out from them. Capy now have a lot to live up to because Ethereal 5, it seems like Haven, they know their way around.
And if you weren't watching the Ethereal 5 game, you might not be aware of this, but Ethereal 5 are starting on attack, and that's a side they played very differently from a traditional Haven attack. They did a lot of planting, leaving the spike, and then just forgetting about it and wandering around the map trying to find the defending players wherever they happen to be. So I hope Capy has a strategy in mind to counter Ethereal 5's truly wild comp and wild ideas that we saw in the last game. But even if they don't, even if Capy goes down on Haven, they still have Pearl, they still have our final map, which is Fracture, to fall back on. So we could see them going the entire distance, even if Haven doesn't go their way.
A very interesting map pool indeed. Haven was a very tame pick, and then we see Pearl and Fracture coming out of nowhere, leaving
Wild.
us in a very interesting situation. The players, oh, they're getting readied up. Don't you worry about them. They're making sure that they get their last seconds of aim labs in before we get going, making sure they can still click on those lovely circles, make sure that they can click heads, because at the end of the day, that's all Valorant is. Just click 5 heads and you're good. You win the round.
That's all it is, honestly. If you have a mouse and you can click it 5 times, you can be a pro. And in fact, you basically are a pro. It's an easy game. I'm sure there's nothing very complicated about it.
No.
Nothing too exciting. But just to humor these teams, let's see what they choose to go into Haven with. I'm wondering if we're going to see the same Ethereal 5 comp that we just saw. We're on select now, and it looks like Ethereal 5, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They are going with the exact same comp that they had in the previous game. Nobu on the Fade, Dagras on the Neon. I mean, it is looking exciting over there. And meanwhile, on Defenders, what do we have coming in here for Capy? We've got a Fade Hovered and a Yoru. Now, Yoru has seen some play on Haven. It would be interesting, and it might end up being really valuable for keeping some site presence even without being on site. For those retakes they're going to be having to do on this defensive side. But nope, it looks like that duelist is being considered now. Let's see. All right, it will be Yoru in the end. Nice pick from Jessica. We have a chamber pick coming out here, a standard pick there. We're going to see KO instead of Breach, and the Fade. Fade has really made her way into the meta recently. Instead of Sova, we're going to see Fade. Just one pick left here. Kevin Sleepy. They love Brimstone,
sleepy.
but they're sleepy. They're in the middle of a good nap. They hovered Brimstone, and they thought, I'm going to get 16 seconds in, and then we can start the game. Now, Haven was an interesting map from Ethereal 5. I'm very excited to see how the Yoru works on this defensive comp. Yoru has seen more and more pro play since Paper X played them in the last VCT tournament, the last big international tournament for Valorant. But even still, Yoru is still sort of a new pick, a change in the meta. And they can be a very wonky pick. They can really throw off an entire map just because they can be anywhere. They can teleport quickly. Their flashes are very strong. So I'm interested to see if that will change how Ethereal 5 have to deal with their attacking half.
Very interesting lineup indeed, as we did talk about no more shenanigans. Well, we might be getting a few with that Yoru pick coming out, trying to try out some new meta against a team, Ethereal 5, that does favor that new meta, favors those new tricks. Pistol round, first one coming in, and now I'm just interested to see. We have two teams looking like they're both going to take those newer, unique playstyles. Which one is going to be able to take the advantage. Pistol round, not necessarily indicative, but you definitely want to win, get that early economy started.
Absolutely. And we can see we've got the chamber setups coming out here. Wow, a really solid chamber setup. You can see there's a trip in garage, but chamber is going to be set up on a site. This might look a little bit unusual to you. Usually chamber doesn't leave the teleport anchors so far from where they're going to go, but actually this chamber is going to work their way down into sewers where that second anchor is going to become active and they can go back up onto the A site to help their team if they need to. Or make a quick rotation. And they're going to need a quick... Oh, man, he finds Dagris right off the rip. It doesn't matter how fast you're going when you got tracking like that. He was in aim labs for sure. Nobu will get the plant down. But the defenders are already here. Jason backs off to Cubby. Nobu finds two. They're always good for one or two. Chow cleans up. Hyan gets a pick on site. And the defenders have made their way on, even if the numbers aren't there. Hyan says the numbers are there. The defuse is coming through. Didn't get half by a millisecond. And Jason will clean it up.
And a great first round there. Taking site, getting that plant pretty dominantly, as we have seen Ethereal 5 play. Now it's a matter, the eyes are all on Capy, as we'll see if Ethereal 5 are going to be able to play their game once again on Haven, like we saw previously, or Capy are going to incorporate some of those new tricks that they have the potential to. Ethereal 5's previous opponents taking that very classical playstyle, but with the operator picks coming out from Capy, lots of potential for some unique plays.
Ooh, that Fade Haunt is in such an unusual place. Hyan doesn't expect it and is completely tagged up. Presence noted. And I think even though Ethereal 5, yeah, they looked very similar, they move very quickly, the response already from Capy was so strong. Oh my, I mean, look at this. A quick pick from Hyan, even though they know where he's at. Sure, he's at 2 health, but you know who's not at 2 health? The breach from Ethereal 5, Chow. Dagris does find one, though. Using that Spectre. The wall goes up, but it is being spammed out, so Dagris is forced to hold back into garage. Finds another defender. It's looking very clean here from Ethereal 5. Just 2 left, but Hyan has been so deadly with his Headhunter. Fox clears out garage. The defenders now probably suspect it's not going to be a C hit, or if it is, it's very quiet. And the spike has made its way over to the A site. That Fade Haunt will let the defenders know that it's on their mini-map, even if they can't see it. So they know now, okay, well, they're attacking A. Let's make our way over there. Let's see if we can get a gun. Make something of this round. Huge flank here from Hyan.
Fox early rotation in. Hyan is going to get that flank, but looks like that angle being held, but player from
Giving up.
5 looking like they're rotating out. Hyan, very interesting situation indeed. Gonna slowly his way in. Fox getting taken down by Jason. Now Hyan, all eyes on him for Capy, but might not have enough time as the spike is on a timer. It is ticking. The players rotating out. Hyan essentially just looking for a quick pick here.
Not even. Maybe getting a pick, but it's important for Hyan to die here, even if they can't defuse, because if you don't die, then you only get 1,000 credits into the next round. But if you do die, you get your loss bonus. So after 1 loss, you get 1,900, but after 2 losses, you get 2,400. So if Hyan had stayed alive there, they'd have a couple bucks in their pocket, but they wouldn't have a better gun. Now Hyan is able to buy up. They get another ult orb for dying, and they're able to help their team coming into this next round, the bonus round. Although, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt myself, but usually this is called the bonus round because you save your guns from the previous rounds if you're doing well. Ethereal 5 will be keeping their Spectres. Jason, I think, hasn't heard of a bonus round because Jason, the attacking chamber, has bought up into an operator here on the 3rd round. Very unusual on the attack side. Has to hide from this Fade Haunt.
Very neutral game. Start this round. The push surmounting its way towards A long as we see some players rotating and also through short. A good split for them. Jason with the op trying to find a pick there as we see Jessica having to shut that breach coming in. Very close to some push, but it actually looks like Ethereal 5. Well,
They're not feeling it.
They said goodbye. They're not having that one. They said see you later. Oh, Jason picks up one with the op.
That cubby position is so good. You get so much value out of it. You can see even though there was no awareness there that it could happen, Fox still caught off guard. Manny finds Dagris again, the second time that he's won that duel. Nobu finds Manny a trade back out. The defenders really want to keep this clean. And so far they're down to just 2. Jason doing work with the op, gets away. Repeaks it immediately. Absolutely no respect from Jason here. But those players have left Garage. Hyen is caught out, and Nobu will find the last 2, Hyen and Kevin, who is, of course, sleepy. That's one way to save your economy. Just let the other people buy guns and then take the guns off of them when they die.
Jason's op buy was in question there, but definitely cementing that decision, getting those picks so aggressive on the op. Able to pick up multiple kills very proficiently. Almost picked up another one, but had to teleport out, as I believe it was 2 from Jason really early on, almost a third, but was shut down, keeping that op and playing oh so well. Now very stacked mid.
Kevin Sleepy caught out, does put some damage on Dagris, but not even close to enough to bring them down. The neon wall will get them onto site, and Dagris is in. Jessica finds Jason. That's a big pick for Jessica. The other 4 players are on A. They're flanked now, completely exposed, and you can see they're going back to try to hold those angles. But none of the defenders are there. They're making their way into Heaven, making their way into CT. Even though they've got lesser weapons, they're still very dangerous. Manny especially has really found some picks that have been so impressive. Presence noted on the right side of A long. As the defenders make their way onto site, Ethereal 5 doing their classic plant and go. Oh, Nobu spotted from sewer. Manny finds, Manny gets 2 shots, Fox finishes it off, Nobu finds Manny. And now it's all down to Jessica, and I think they have an op, so yep, they will be saving Jason's op. And I think that's definitely worth it. You can see Dagris is going to go hunting. They want that gun back. They do not want it to fall into Jessica's hands, I'm sorry. But there's no time.
And now, Ethereal 5, a slow start in the previous series. It went down 3-0, but then won 13 consecutive. Well, no, not 13 consecutively, almost, but they did lose around.
They did lose that one, yeah, 13-4 in the end.
Was 13-4 in the end, but Ethereal 5, well, apparently Haven is just their home, as they will continue that onslaught. Already up 4, and Capy, while they've shown some good looks.
Wow!
Yeah, Dagris with 2 pickups early on will get shut down by Manny, but Ethereal 5 looking hot right now.
Manny is Dagris is a kryptonite. Oh, I'm gonna stop talking about that though, because Fox has found 2 and has noted the presence of both of the last 2 attackers. Hyen with the op, looking to put some damage into this econ, although they're backing off onto the A site. Hyen is in an interesting position because they have an op, a regular op, but they also have their ult ready. So if they lose the op, it's not ideal, but it's okay going into the next round. They can still op using that chamber ult in the following round. And you can see them slowly making their way over. When the spike goes down, it ticks for 40 seconds. So Hyen has 40 seconds to find some picks, get in, and take these players out. And with only 2 bullets in the headhunter, it's going to be a lot of close angles with this op.
Seen angles get hit before.
True.
Just a matter of time. Hyen checking every corner of sight. Maybe not used to that Ethereal 5 back away playstyle. Will get on the defuse.
Wow.
Rotating from Jason, but Imposter gonna get the pick. Had Hyen covered from both sides. Ethereal 5, very controlled, very well thought out play from them.
I want to call out what you just said, because you're right. They had a 50-50 there at the end. Jason on one side, Imposter on the other. And it's because Jason set up his teleporter so that one was in A long and one was in hell on the A site. So the second They heard that spike tap. He swung, tried to get a pick that way. When he didn't get it, he TP'd. Usually that's a defensive move, but this time it was to create that 50-50 angle. So if he was caught out, his teammate could get the pick, and if he got the pick, then his teammate, it doesn't matter if his teammate lives or dies. What an incredible use of the TP. Maybe we're going to see Capy try to destroy those anchors a little bit more proactively after that. Jessica destroys Nobu, speaking of. Good start to the round.
Grades coming out on both sides. Very neutral start so far, but action-packed nonetheless, as we do see a bit of a push coming through. See Long, Leon getting the wall out, getting site presence. Chow find something but can't find it. Watching the door. Chow's gonna get one pick on Jessica Fox. An immediate response, back and forth, spike down, and well, now we see 0-5. They're gonna look for that rotation offside, but Ian might actually have a good flank there.
He does. He's already gotten one pick. He's looking for a second. Jason aware, and it's going to be an op battle on C Long facing away from the spike. Manny fighting their nemesis Dagris, but they also need to find this player in Cubby and get the defuse. It's a lot to do, and they can't quite manage it this time. Jason gets the last pick to bring them to 6 on Ethereal 5's map pick Haven.
And no wonder it is their map pick. They have shown nothing but dominance on Haven, both in the last series and this one. Capy, however, still having Pearl as their pick to try and find something a little bit more favorable for them. However, this game far from over. We are only entering the 7th round. It takes 13 to win. So definitely not quite out. A bit of action in midfield. High end can't find the pick. Will teleport away, but Manny shutting down Daggers early. That's a huge pickup for Manny early on to start the round.
Manny has killed 4 players so far, and I know for a fact that 3 of them were Dagris, and I kind of suspect all 4 of them were Dagris. I think Manny, they're not playing a 5v5, they're playing a 1v1 with spectators in the server. I mean, they are out for just Dagris's blood. Anyway, the hit is coming in on this C site. A lot of pressure through Garage. Jason finds Manny. Fox breaks the Fade utility and is holding backside so well. And look at this, Jessica giving all the information and getting a kill on the board. That's big. That's spiked down, and it's looking like it's going to be the first round on the board for Capy. And Hyan will find his counterpart in Jason and shut the round down. Wow. Great hold there on the C site.
And they did a good job indeed, setting themselves up on defense for success. It's there's some strategy to it, but at some point it's a matter of guessing where your opponents are going to go. You never know if they're going to push the same side over and over again, or if they're going to get the mix-up in. But Capy getting the luck of the draw. Still, like I said, having to have the skill to back defending the site, and they did it so well, able to pick up their first round. But the question is, will that be it for them, or are they going to be able to pick up more? An exchange comes out, Daggers takes out Heaven. Jessica picking up imposter. Daggers gets a second. Daggers gets another one.
Manny goes down, but can be revived. Nobu finds... Nobu finishes it off, I guess. They're going hunting now. They want to shut down the economy before it gets out of hand. That's 3 on the board for Daggers. My goodness. I mean, Ethereal 5 just know this map so well. Their comp is set up so effectively. And I think we're seeing Capy figure it out. They've gotten around on the board, and it didn't look like chance. But they're still struggling to deal with the speed and the sort of relentless pace that Ethereal 5 is putting on the board. I mean, Dagris is such a force on this map, 11-4, and Nobu is right behind Dagris, picking up the kills, getting the site presence, and, you know, playing the game of Valorant, not just team deathmatch, getting the spike down, diffusing those kind of little things that people care about. Oh!
Ooh. Playing that game of search and destroy, if you will, not quite
exactly.
Team deathmatch. Getting the bomb planted. In this game, the spike, obviously, but in other
Look
games,
at this.
The bomb double pick up for Ethereal 5. Hyan getting a response, but only one response. Can't quite find the second. So Kevin on the peak loses the fight to Nobu. And Ethereal 5, I'm very interested to see how Ethereal 5 play on a map that's not Haven.
Me too. I'm
Honestly.
very excited to see the Pearl map plays, especially because that map is not as open. It's a lot rattier. It has a lot more corners. Speaking of corners, I think Hyan's about to be caught by one he didn't check. Jason doesn't quite get the pick, but will Hyan be aware?
Oh.
No, just being toyed with.
Oh.
Oh, so rude.
The disrespect, showing the aim tracking right there. Not leaving Hyan's head. Jason going to finish out the round. Make that 8-1, and it seems like Ethereal 5 by that. They're just having fun with it at this point. They're so comfortable on this map. They are just having the time of their lives playing against Capy right now.
They really are. I mean, I think Ethereal 5, even if you're not doing so well against them, I think this has got to be maybe a stressful game mentally, but a really fun game for anyone at this level. I mean, this is such a new look, such an exciting way to play, and such a fast take on the map. Manny shuts down this quick B hit. Although Daggerus just disrespects it, jumps over and gets the plant down. The Cosmic Divide will keep... Oh, doesn't get the plant down, leaves. Cosmic Divide does cut off the sound, but now you can see Jessica's position will give them all the sound they need. And they're out onto the C site. Nobu shuts down their counterpart's utility. Still a 5v5. The retake is possible. And the Brim utility will go down to try to deny the plant. Still no plant with a minute left. They're just death matching. Hyan still has a lot to do. Falls 9-1. Wow. They are relentless.
What do we even do in Capy's situation here? Like, what? Where's the mental regain? What do you have to do as a team collectively? We haven't seen a timeout from them.
We haven't seen a timeout from them. That's very true. You know, I think sure we would enjoy a timeout. We'd enjoy a reposition. But if I'm being totally honest, if I was in Capy's position right now, I'd be talking about how I would shut this kind of thing down on Pearl. Yeah, I'd be looking to map to their first map pick, probably something they're more comfortable with, and saying, let's figure out who's doing what on this map and see if we can stop them from doing that on our map. Jason looking for a quick pick here onto Jessica. Jessica has been a really high impact player despite their stats. They've really found a lot of space for their team, a lot of information for their team. And you can see even now, Jason is worried about Jessica coming out of garage, sneaks up into this B cubby, and gets completely taken by the Yoru decoy there. It's flashed out and has to leave mid. They've slowed Ethereal 5 down, so maybe, you know, even without the timeout, maybe Capy heard what you were saying and said, let's think this through. They don't like going slow, let's force them to go slow. And it's a judge in sewers will force them to go slow, all right. The angle given up just at the wrong time, but 2 picks going the way, 3 picks going the way of Capy, bringing it into a 2v5. And Jessica finds one, leaving only one on A long. Presence noted. Just a formality now. And Kevin Sleepy will take care of it.
And there Capy goes, figuring out how to close the round out. Able to take that one in a dominant fashion. Now, timeout, actually, we were just talking about a timeout. A timeout comes out from Ethereal 5.
From Ethereal 5? Well, imagine losing one round and thinking, we gotta talk about this.
You lose one round, I've had enough.
I don't love this. I'd like to have a 10-2 half, everybody. Let's keep it clean. Oh wow. This is not like my comp games. If I was up 7 rounds, I'd be like, let's go home. I'm gonna just sit out the next couple. You all got this. I'm gonna get a Dr. Pepper and put my feet up.
This has to be like a bathroom break or something. There's no way this is a strategic timeout from Ethereal 5 unless they're just toying with Capy.
Oh, my pizza's here. Can we just take a quick 1 minute
The pizza
pause?
guy's at the door. I hear him knocking. I'm yelling, I'm in a game of Valorant. Just give me like 2 minutes.
I didn't hear him come up. He's not door dashing. He's door walking. You know, he's got his shift key down.
Ooh, door sneaking, if you will.
Door sneaking.
Just moseying onto the door, but no knock indeed. You know how delivery drivers are. Same thing goes with like packages as food. It's like the delivery drivers, they don't want to make that interaction. They just like knock on the door, then like sprint away. And so now we will see if Ethereal 5, speaking of sprinting away, can run away with this game.
They're the DoorDash team.
First round, they are the dashers that are looking to dash.
Yeah.
Trying to get that quick buck, but they will still have another game to play as this grand finals not quite the same best of one that we've been seeing on stream, but instead a best of 3. and the spray coming out from Kevin trying to find an early pick.
And more than just finding the early pick, they gave Jessica a bunch of room there because it forced the players to get out of window, and Jessica got into this sneaky position mid to cause a little bit of chaos. It doesn't seem like quite enough as the A long hit is coming in. All 5 members of Ethereal 5 just waltzing onto site. Nobody there to oppose them. Heaven is smoked off, CT is smoked off, and the plant is going to go down. Flank already being held. Wow, this is a tall task in this final round of the half. Jessica flashes out of the smoke, but is pushed out by the breach utility from hell. So now they'll know where that breach is. They're getting concussed. This time, Ethereal 5 sticking around on the site just to switch things up. Jason takes out Manny. The defenders are walking into CT. They get a pick, and they get a couple more picks going their way. They just might close it out 2v1. And that's the round, a 9-3 half. That's Ethereal 5's calling card here on Haven. 9-3 halves when you start on attack.
9-3 halves, nothing to complain about on the side of Ethereal 5. But now the question becomes, Capy, what exactly will they have to show us? The side switched up. Capy now going to be on the attack. We'll see if they can bring that sort of pace that Ethereal 5 brings, or if this truly is just Ethereal 5's map.
I think we saw a couple rounds in the previous series of Ethereal 5 on defense on Haven. I think only 4 or 5, I suppose, in the end. And it looked pretty good, but didn't look nearly as strong as their attacking half. So I'm very curious to see. I think Capy can push them to their limits here. They seem like a team that's quick to adapt, and they have some plans of their own here on attack. Fade utility into garage early on, it looks like. Dagger's taking up this A-long position, and a lot of pressure into garage. Smoke's going down. Pressure onto C. Imposter's aware of it, but cannot find Jessica. Will Jessica get 2? No, forced out of garage. Still gonna hold that angle in case any of the defenders try to poke out. Oh, and actually, never mind. They teleport out. They're following their team to A. 5v4 is good enough for them, I suppose.
Big A push coming out from Capy. They are showing no signs of hesitation. A swing dominance already have the spike down. Smoke Heaven's gonna slow down Ethereal 5's counter. Now, can Ethereal 5 find their way onto site? It's Capy. Have done a good job of smoking it out, delaying the push from Ethereal 5.
Look at this. Capy is the opposite of Ethereal 5. Ethereal 5 plant and leave. Capy plant and they just sit at the door. Look at that. They were all clustered up on CT. They've got Jason coming in on the flank. Will they get anything? No. Fox takes Jason down. Locking the round up. A crucial pistol round because now their economy is in a great place. They don't have to force those buys that we were seeing in the last series. They are comfortably buying into Spectres, full armor, all their utility. And hopefully for Capy, Ethereal 5 will only be on these classics to save some money into the 3rd round.
So we talked about Ethereal 5 being the door dasher that just drops your food and runs away. It seems like Capy, whenever they are on the offense, they're that 1 in 10 door dasher that are sitting there at the door, smile on their face, waiting for you to come meet them. As whenever they get on the site, they are present as the midfield presence coming out. Kevin gonna pick up 1, but the double response from Ethereal 5, Hyen's gonna neutralize. And as I'm talking about DoorDash drivers, these players getting picks left and right. Another one comes out from Kevin, picks up Imposter, and now Hyen. Oh no, not Hyen, Jason. I'm getting my players mixed up. Jason now last remaining.
Jessica just wandering the map. Such an interesting Yoru pick here. I think they're not playing it so aggressively that it puts them into danger, but they're allowing their teleporter to be almost like a chamber TP to get them back into their spawn, back to where their team is at. You saw them just now. They were exploring CT. They couldn't find Jason, and they said, you know what? Let me regroup, teleport back to the C site, meet up with my teammates, my fellow my friendly DoorDash friends, and Jessica does find Jason for the final kill. 5-9, very clean round there. Except for, you're right, that early push into garage and mid, which was an absolute bloodbath. That was crazy.
That was chaotic. 4 kills exchanged there, a 5th ensuing shortly after, leaving the game to a 3v2. But now, Capy, 2 wins in a row on offense, going to have a much better economy. We do see the buys coming out from Ethereal 5, though, looking to respond to, as you called it, the bonus round.
I am surprised to see Capy still bonusing when they're down by 4. I guess it's not good to force here, but I thought maybe they would have a hero rifle, something like that. But in fact, they don't even have full Spectres. Xiao finds Jessica for the first pick. And this B push is being completely halted. Spike is down on site even. Does manage to get off there. Great TP off by Hyan. And now Nobu will push out of the smoke, hoping to find another. They do find one, but they're traded out by Kevin. Wow. This spike has been up and down so much you'd think it was stocks. It's crazy. Let's see.
This
Daggers.
game is like the crypto market, just all over the place, up and down. Daggers almost picks up 2, shut down by Manny, who gets a second.
Wow.
Very momentous play from Manny to get that second pickup.
And I do want to call out, just while we have this moment of silence here, for a bonus round, you really, if you're the players who bought into it, you want to keep at least 3 alive. And so far, that hasn't happened for Ethereal 5. Capy is pushing them. Capy showing that they're just as good as attacking as Ethereal 5 is. 2 players going C long. They, I think, missed that the spike is still down in window. I think they must have assumed that Capy had picked it up. I would have assumed that. And Capy are surprised to find no attack, or no defenders rather, sitting on the spike. So, my goodness. Another collision in garage. Xiao taken out with the spike. And Manny going for a third, finds it. Can they get 4? Oh, no. The 4th is backing off because they know that Manny doesn't have time to plant. Xiao can win the round by staying alive. And that's exactly what Xiao will do. Great playing there by Xiao. Manny will go for the plant, although I don't think they have time just to get the money for their team. Woo. This garage, it's so hard to watch. You ever have that situation in real life where you're walking, you're walking out of a door and somebody else is walking into the door? I feel like we keep watching that happen in Valorant. Where they're like, oh, sorry, I was gonna go. You go through.
We're just the spectator watching both people in the hallway. They both move to the same side,
Exactly.
and it's just watching the world burn here in the garage. As all of these fights, they progress so slowly, but once they start, and I did want to point out that Jason almost had that creative play against Manny, getting that teleport. Manny knew that he was on the right side of garage, but Jason using that teleport to switch sides. Manny not caring, for lack of a better term, and still picking up the kill on a Jason. Couldn't quite finish out to end the round, but now a new round, a new...
And you can see, even though Ethereal 5 won that round, their economy is in tatters. They didn't keep enough players alive. They didn't recover enough guns. And so they're left with things like a judge, a sheriff, a frenzy. Mostly, they're left with, wow, a shotgun and some pistols. But that shotgun already proven pretty powerful. Not quite enough for 2, but 3v3 as the B hit will come through. Nobu looking to hold on, puts a feeler out, puts a prowler out. Finds one, finds another one with the sheriff before being traded out by Manny. Really good stuff here.
Nobu almost getting that second pickup with the sheriff would have been huge, but Ian gonna be able to get the plant down.
What a pop
flash, but Imposter on the support, able to get the kill while his teammate was flash hand. Gotta pick one up in the form of Chow, and now comes the tango that we will see the players running around. The smoke comes out, presence remotely known, but Imposter just gonna try and hold that angle on the spike. Ian moves into the smoke, picks it up. Ian for 3 that round, finds it in favor of Capy.
We saw Ethereal 5, the story when they're on attack is just they're incredible at attacking. But even on Ethereal 5's attacking half, even on Hyan's defensive half, he was a real star player. He was coming out of that very positive, and now on attack, we're seeing he's even better. He has been so crucial in these rounds, picking up not just 3 kills, but the kills they needed most, getting the trades, getting that final clutch kill, and it was so interesting to see how he played that clutch, moving around the smoke, letting Imposter think he must be backside trying to play time, but actually, he got aggressive and got the kill. Anyway, on to the 17th round here. And you can see this time, they're going to play it a little bit slower on the side of Capy. The spike has been left in spawn. They're looking for some early trades, trying to hold off some early aggression from Ethereal 5. And I think they might have the read on Ethereal 5 that they look like they're getting a bit antsy. They're not used to playing defense for this long, I'll tell you that much.
Seems like they just try and win as many rounds in offense as possible and then just pick up the pieces on defense and find the wins. However, Capy giving them a run for their money as it seems like Ethereal 5 likes to hold those very aggressive angles when they are defending, reminiscing of their offensive days.
Wow!
Lions gonna get that pick up on Jason to open it up. Kevin gets a second. Capy now find themselves in a very good situation.
They do, although another player, Sewer, is unsuspected, but held off by a couple of great flashes by Jessica. Manny does find Dagras. I swear, Manny's playing a 1v1. Unreal. And you can already see Ethereal 5, the call has come in. Nobu and Imposter will be trying to save these weapons, but Hyan has another thing in mind. You're not going to save anything. Their economy isn't looking fantastic on Capy, but even still, he's getting aggressive. They're looking into CT. And they're already confident they're going to have a 7th round on the board. This is now getting into... I think Ethereal 5 might be looking for another timeout. They might be wondering, okay, how do we recover this? Because this is slipping away from us.
Well, I think now is when Capy calls their timeout as Nobu's going to pick Hyan up. Shuts that one down, but in a very strange turn of events, I believe this is where Capy calls their timeout as we saw. As Nobu picks up 2 more! Nobu picks up so many on the save. Wow.
Wow. That was wild. I saw 2 people holding the angle on the minimap, and I thought, all right, well, they've got a little crossfire here. They'll be fine. Nobu wasn't perturbed by that. It's no big deal. 2 more players for me to kill. That's fine. For a fade, it's very rare you see a fade this high up on the scoreboard, but Nobu just makes it look so easy. It doesn't even look like they're getting too aggressive. They're trying to out-duelist their duelists. It just looks like every once in a while they come around the corner, a person's there, they give them a little bullet to the head, they move on with their day. And let's see a little push out garage just to get some information. This Yoru should be known as a fake. It is, but it's still flashed. I don't understand why they did that, but they're smarter than I am, so I'll ask them after the match, maybe. Ooh, Jessica finds Chow for the opening pick. And the ult will be used to find some more information. Getting a bit body blocked onto the C site. But they now know there are 3 people here, so the call has come in. Don't go to C, go anywhere else. And they're rushing the A site right into Jason. Actually, they're going to avoid Jason by going sewers. Pretty smart.
We see a big queue of players going through. Jason can't find the pickup. Kevin breaching site very well, for a lack of a better term. Breach, spike down Nobu. Kevin, Nobu looking for a pickup, can't find it. Is going to hunt, but completely shut down. Find something. Dagger's looking for a way in. Shotgun in. Guns blazing, but does get flashed, has to hold off on the rest of the push. Just looking for that first.
Oh, gets a gun.
Gun pick up, but immediately shut down by Fox.
Out.
Imposter, looks like we're gonna see a save come out. Imposter just getting out of the scene, wants to keep that Vandal, wants no part in whatever is happening on site. But Capy showing that they also know how to play this Haven offense.
I think we've got a series on our hands here. You know, when we saw 9-3, I thought, all right, same thing from Ethereal 5. Let's see what Pearl is like. Yeah, I was even saying that when you asked about what Capy should do. What I didn't know is that one of the strats that Capy had in their back pocket was, let's just also be incredible at attacking on Haven. Let's just also do that. They did it. We could probably do it, right? And they certainly can. Holy cow, what an attacking half we've had here. Only 1 round picked up by Ethereal 5. And we're now just 2 rounds away from a tied game.
And bringing back that 9-3 deficit into a tie game would be so huge for Capy. The confidence has to be radiating right now. Daggers and Fox, early exchange, but Nobu gets the pick on Jessica. Gonna put it in Hero 5. It's a matter of keeping it. It's Nobu looking for another pickup, can't quite get it. Manny will rotate in and find the revenge trade, but can't get down the hand. Looking down.
Manny finds it.
Nobu! Manny gets Daggers once again. Nobu picking up Manny immediately after, but then Fox getting the revenge kill. Looks like the spike is way over long. See how Capy are gonna put this one out.
planted.
Wow, what a pick by Jason.
Ooh.
They find Hyan so quickly after the plant. Hyan thought they could get into hell for free or get into position on that angle for free. 2v3, but it looks as though Chow is sitting C long. I'm not 100% sure why. Jason doesn't need them is why, apparently. Fox finds Jason. And now we do have Imposter cleaning the round up and getting the defuse as their teammate sits C long. A bold strategy. It seems there might be a defuse here.
Now.
Yep, or a disconnect here. I think we might be taking a tech pause for a moment. You know, Chow did have a disconnect there. Obviously, we're going to get them back into the server as fast as we can. Didn't seem to bother Ethereal 5. They got the round anyway. I'm sure Chow is happy to hear it. But I guess what I'm wondering right now is it's 8-11. Ethereal 5 just won the most recent round, meaning that they are going to have a bit of an economic advantage coming in. Do you think we could see an overtime? Do you think Ethereal 5 closes it out in the next two? Where are we at, Jay?
I think we are in for some shenanigans in the next few games. My favorite. We are waiting on the players to come back. Just keeping up in the chat, making sure that everything gets sorted out as quickly as possible. As actually, funny story, I casted a Rocket League tournament yesterday and had a player disconnect in overtime of one of the games, and that team ended up winning the round, or winning the game in that series.
It's
So
a secret strat. Yeah.
Apparently, losing one of your players when it matters most, when it's game time, is a strategy to pulling forward in a round or in a game.
I think that's why you often see, oh, it's 4v5, and everyone thinks the team that has 5, they're going to wrap it up. You know, they've got extra players. But the 4 team, they have to dig deep, you know? I'm sure that right then Ethereal 5 was saying to themselves, hey, Chow's not here. What are we going to do? And then the answer was, oh, let's just go huge. Let's just kill as many people as we can. Let's disrespect them. Let's jump out of heaven with an op. And just incredible plays coming out from every member of Ethereal 5. And right there with them is Capy. And I know I've harped on about it, but while we're waiting for Chow to come back, what do you think if we talked to Manny after the game and we said, hey, Manny, excellent performance, you know, well done. What did Dagris do to hurt you? Do you think Manny would have an answer? Because it feels personal at this point. It's been so many kills.
Definitely lots of exchanges just between Manny and Daggers going in favor of Manny. Just really does not want to play against a Neon, trying to get the picks as early as possible, trying to get those reads, but a very, very comedic situation indeed as we do.
And it's not against, you know, a mediocre player. It's against Dagris. We saw what they did in the last series. They were absolutely putting up numbers, and they still are, but Manny is their kryptonite. And it looks like we're about to see another head-to-head. Dagris is all set to dash down C long at the start of the round.
Oh,
and all 5 members are there. Some shenanigans. If Manny gets Dagris here, I will contact them to see if there's some sort of beef. I have to know. I have to know. And we're back in. Fox finds Dagris. I'll ask anyway.
what an aggressive push from Dagris. Just barreling down long to try and get an early pick. It's met by the entire team, however. So the push revealed. It is now known where generally everyone is, but rotation out in mind. However, the spike still left behind.
Wow.
Kevin able to dodge Jason's shot. You don't really see Jason miss that too much, and
no,
if he would have got that, it would have been detrimental if Jason got that, because the spike then would have been down. Everyone already rotated out. All 0-5 would have had to have done is just rotate back in, but Jason needed to find that shot, couldn't find it. Now we see the push.
Might have a second shot here on Kevin. Oh, finds it instead on Manny, who goes down. Dagris is dead. Manny must die. That's they're intertwined.
Diffuser has been found.
Oh, Hyan finds Jason from a nice little angle under the window in garage. Kevin gets imposter. Chow trades it out. It's 2v2. The spike has yet to go down, but there's still plenty of time. Only Hyan left in this 1v2 now. The defenders are looking to hold on to the spike, and now presence is known by Hyan. Will he get out? He does get away, but no time to plant unless he gets really aggressive here, and Nobu is holding the angle.
I feel like we've also seen a lot of interactions between Jason and Hyan.
I think that's true. I think you're right.
We
I,
we obviously the Manny versus Dagris is forever the main spotlight interaction, but Ian and Jason have found each other on the board multiple times.
That's true.
But
I think Hyan and Jason, I would say it's like a typical like it's a rivalry. Whereas
mhm,
Manny and Dagris is getting to the point where when you make
it's
a dating
personal.
profile, they're like, "Are you a Manny or are you a Dagris?" Like these are this is a zodiac difference at this point. This is off the charts. And I'll focus back on Valorant here as we make our way onto the C site. Manny now need to win this round to stay in this map. 8-12. Ethereal 5 finally on match point after a long defensive half for them. The attacker's keenly aware of this. Ult's invested, and Fox is getting the plant down. As some of this delay utility is coming in to keep the players in garage from peeking through that smoke. In fact, they're waiting for the attackers to come out, and they're right to. Dagris and Nobu have the read, and that is a huge play here for these defenders. Oh, no!
Oh my, what a push!
What a push! And that's what I'm saying about Nobu. I mean, it didn't look like Nobu went too aggressive there. They were forced out of garage by the Brimstone utility, and they thought, I'll just get these two players to wrap up the map. Map 1 goes the way of Ethereal 5 after a long slobber knocker is the term I'm going to use.
Slobber knocker is, I suppose, one term that you could use there, Hachi, but very interesting play coming out indeed, as it looked like Capy had a little bit of a second life going into their attacking half, and potentially, I'm now curious to see attack versus defense Ethereal 5 on Pearl, because we know that
Agreed.
attack is their specialty on Haven. Their defense, while it's still good, is not quite up there with their attack. Now we're on a different map. I want to
Yeah.
see if they're still a very attack dominant team or if they're going to bring us something new to Pearl.
Agreed. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Ethereal 5 break into this new map, find out what angles are theirs, if they have a strategy for Pearl, because it's not their pick. So far, we've seen them twice on Haven, you and I, and whoever else has been tuned in for the whole tournament. And now we're going to finally go to their opponent's map pick. We're going to Pearl, and then finally we're going to the Decider Fracture, because if we get that far. But any map that's not Haven, I wonder if they're going to be using the neon still. I wonder if they're going to be going quickly still. And what I'm most curious about, are they going to be putting the spike down and then leaving the way that they came and just lurking? Because Pearl, especially the B site, has a very long corridor leading to it. So it'll be interesting to see. We're going to go to this map too in just a second after a short break. back with the Frost Esports Whiteout Weekly Grand Finals. We're on the second map, the newest map, Pearl. I'm very excited to see this. I have yet to see high-level play on the Pearl map, unless you count all the people who have dunked on me in comp. Jay, what do you think?
Well, Hachi, considering that you are as high of a rank as you are, I would consider that professional play. That's what you've seen.
I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you. I mean, it feels like that. My rank doesn't reflect it, but honestly, my dad says that I'm
teammates.
radiant, so that means a lot.
Your
And my
teammates are holding
teammates,
you back.
I've been talking to them about that a lot, very loudly, and I've used all of the horrible words that I have, just like every Valorant player, to express my frustration. But I think we're going to see two friendly teams today on Pearl. They are already in agent select, and it's heating up. Ethereal 5 did take the first map, Haven, but it turned out to be more of a slog than we were expecting. They were so dominant on their attacking half, but so was Capy. And Capy this time will be defending to start us off. Ethereal 5 back on the attack. And we can see already Capy have picked Neon. I'm not sure what to expect from this map. So far, I expect Fade to be quite good. Her utility is excellent at being thrown over the walls, getting some information about players without being at risk of being caught out. But Neon is such a strange pick. Maybe they're going to use the wall for B long. Maybe they're hoping to find a fast way into A without exposing themselves to too many angles. It's hard for me to tell.
Your agent.
Definitely a lot of questions, especially whenever these newer maps come out. All of the tech on the maps not yet discovered, but all of these players at the caliber that they are have probably had some time in training and in their competitive matches to get a good idea of how they should be playing on these maps, on the new ones that come out. This one, Pearl, it's the one that we are on now. Should be interesting to say the least, being a new map, but
yes,
hopefully good. Hopefully good.
Now, some things to watch out for on Pearl. First of all, it's a very large map, but each individual area tends to be very sort of claustrophobic. You can see already we're seeing players in tight corners, indoors, in ratty little areas. But there is a very long stretch on the B side that's just a essentially open view of your opponents right from the beginning of the map. So I'm curious to see how these players will deal with the usual ratty nature. There is an enormous mid, is one thing that I'd call out on Pearl. So you can see there's almost a circle in the middle of the map. That ends up being very influential because it allows for very quick rotates, but having control of it doesn't allow you to quickly get onto any site and provide presence. Anyway, we're into the game. Enough speculation. Let's see how they play it. We can see already Ethereal 5 taking over that mid with an A lean. Two players pushing onto the A site as the others fight for control of Art. Jessica getting up onto this mid divider and now rotating around to help their teammates secure the A site. It's already a 4v2 and make that a 4v1. A lot of work here for Nobu, but we've seen them have a heavy load. Never mind. Nobu will go down. They can't quite clutch it up this time. 1-0. I think this might be the first time we've seen Ethereal 5 at a deficit.
This is the first indeed, as we've seen them win 2 of the initial pistol rounds previously, but this time see Capy coming out strong, winning, having 4 players alive at the end of the round. A very dominant showing from them, as this is their map pick, so they are expected to be the star performers here, but it's only the pistol round. We'll see if they can keep it up in round 2.
Agreed. You see this Fade utility coming out from Capy, just trying to make sure that nobody is pushing mid. Jessica, because there's no presence noted in mid, will fall off into this B-link position. Still aware that they could push through, but doesn't need to actively hold the angle. A lot of Fade utility coming out of Fox, I assume, here. Is that still Fox? No, it's going to be Manny on the Fade this time. They switched it up. Fox will be on Cypher. And Capy, they have weaker guns. They're going exploring, but just very carefully. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, Ethereal 5 going exploring very carefully. Capy finds the first kill. Dagris trades it back. Presence shown on both sides, A and B. And Manny will find... Oh, Nobu will find Manny. So unusual. It's so strange to see them switch up the roles like that. Let's see. The A site looks to be the end goal, but they still haven't found their way onto site yet. High and finds 2.
Found my wire.
Fox back sight noted, but still manages to find one before going down. 2-on-2, the spike finally getting planted, and Jason trades out Hyan. A lot of work here for Kevin. And he's so sleepy.
He's just so tired. What will he be able to do in the slumber? Perhaps a bit of a flank. Oh, he can't find the headshot though. Just gets the damage in and gets killed by Nobu on the reload. Very unfortunate there for Kevin. Had the position advantage, but was not quite able to click high enough. Just got the body shot, not quite enough to pick up the kill onto Nobu. Was able to finish Kevin off in such a sleepy state.
And we will see, that will help Ethereal 5's economy out quite a bit. They're the only team able to buy up some rifles. Capy looking to save, get some sheriffs, get a marshal. But overall, they're playing for the next round, it seems like. And there are a ton of tags or pings coming in on the attacker side for this A site. It's going to be a fast hit. Wow, look at that. The raise utility to peek over by Dagris. Really cool stuff. Jason shooting the ground. I'm not sure why. Oh, they thought there would be a Cypher trip there, but there's not. Chow gets Fox. Traded out by Manny. And the A site is secured, just like that.
Ooh, big pickup from Daggers there onto Hyan. Almost looked away. Chow gonna get another pick up there. Kevin getting one back for his own team. A little bit of a revenge pick there. Kevin looking for more, but doesn't find anything as everyone else away. Kevin just holding out strong and does not want to lose his lovely, lovely sheriff.
I think Kevin will look to die here to the spike if it comes to that, but trying to play for some exit frags. Might be able to go recover one of those guns if they don't want to die to the spike. I think that is a Vandal down over there. And yeah, it looks like Kevin is going to be recovering that Vandal after the spike goes off. Oh, for a second they might accidentally wander too close. Will they get it? No! Oh, that's devastating. They have a Marshal instead. They picked it up accidentally trying to get to that Vandal. So they maybe should have died to the spike there, but that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes, and the rest of their team will have rifles aplenty. An op for Hyan even as we come into this next round. Manny looking to save 1,600 credits. Maybe Kevin will buy them? Yeah, they do. All right. We've got the first full gun round coming out for both teams. Only Kevin with the Marshal that he saved is down. And here we go, the same raise peak. Sorry.
Marshal could be the difference.
It could be. We'll find out. Ooh. Manny's presence was, I don't think it was noted. I don't think the fade utility works that way where that little yellow thing meant the ping. Wow, look at that lineup by Manny. A really cool defensive fade lineup to see the whole site. They hadn't gotten out yet. And you can see these defenders are rotating back over to B at the same time as the attackers are. We're going to get to see that long angle for the first time if anybody gets onto it fast enough here on the side of Capy. There it is. That's the long angle I was talking about. Ethereal 5 making their way down. Check the cubby. Site's clear, they say. But there are 3 defenders waiting for them here. Hyan with a great op opening. Chow trades it back out, working their way up B link. And Manny on an even longer flank. Hyan is just putting in work. Such a reliable player. That's 3 for them on the round. And now it's just down to Hyan. Can they ace to clutch?
With the spike down, Hyan beating up on this op right now, but has some work to do. There's a general idea. Looks like he's looking in the right places, but it's just a matter of time as players. Oh, on the side, Hyan picks up 4.
Wow,
he only has 1. Chow's low health too. He can't find it initially. Gonna fake the plant, force him out, but can't get it. Chow's gonna pick it up, shutting down Hyan's ace. A very, very close opportunity, but Chow able to shut that one down.
I didn't see what Chow had there at the end, but it was low health. They were a bullet away. The classic pull may be a bit of a mistake unless there were no headhunter bullets left for Hyan. My goodness, that was so close to an ace clutch. That was incredible. Capy are looking strong on this map. They're down 2 rounds now, but these have been nail-biter rounds. I mean, these have been very, very close, even though their economy has been suffering. We don't see the Dagris using the raise utility to peek onto the A site. Although the defenders have been marked by Fade Utility. They have much worse guns. Running from the dagger is Showstopper. Does damage, but doesn't find the pick! And gets the kill for the Vandal.
3 picks already on the side of 5 as they looked a little shaky at the start, but they're starting to cement themselves in, find the final 2. Ethereal 5 looking like just a very well-performing team on offense as of now. Seems like whenever they have the spike in hand, there's not many teams that can stop them.
No, agreed. And they have decided to be through a combination of decisions, theirs and Capy's, they will be attacking on every map in this series to begin with. So they are looking so strong right now. Capy definitely has some ideas, and now this time they've got some guns to back them up. So if they can turn it around here, maybe they can make it 3-4 before we know it. The Omen utility to get across that angle is so smart. Hyan is holding it still, though. 3 players, oh my goodness, 4 players stacked onto this A site. And only 1 player on each side lurking on B. Hyan has got the ick, smells that something is wrong, and is rotating over to support Jessica.
See a big rotation through that middle circle.
Heaven finds one, Hyan finds a second. Oh my goodness, Jessica is such a smart player. Always lurking, always able to find the unexpected angle that has been cleared or was thought clear, and then she just gets a kill from it. Incredible play there from Jessica.
And a really great response there. It looked like they were going out in the series, able to shut down Ethereal 5, bring the game back into a more level playing field. Still 2 rounds down, but only 6 played, so still plenty of opportunity for them to close in on that game, that round deficit. They are 1 game down in this best of 3. Capy needing to win 2 games in a row now.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Ethereal 5 just 1 game separating them from the win, but round already getting underway. The tech all around, everywhere, left and right. All the players getting set up the action. It's like just moments away.
I think it might be. It's interesting to see how Capy have chosen to play this. They're leaving so much room open on the B site and depending on themselves to be able to retake it. Ethereal 5 now depending on a big mid hold. Can they be stopped? Yes, Fox kills Dagris, expects the trade and gets Jason as well. Kevin, meanwhile, finds Imposter and spots the remaining 2 players. Jessica there for a frag. And oh, the Manny spray through the smoke is so clean, so smart. That's the 3rd on the board for Capy. They're looking very solid on their pick, Pearl.
Seems like they have this new map understood very well.
They really do. I'm very curious about this. Every round we're seeing exactly what we're seeing now. 4 players on this A site, 1 player on the B site. It seems so weak, and now we're finally seeing what I'm wondering about. What happens when Ethereal 5 say, you know what, forget A, let's go B, let's go hard B. And you see 4 players gonna hit B very quickly and find absolutely no resistance. They know this has been happening because Jason has been lurking here so often, getting so much information for the team, and now the call's gone out by Manny. They're here, they're here, they're here, come, 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 come. Manny good for 1 in the smoke. Jason goes down. And the ult comes out to find a few more. Bumps into Nobu. Manny gets picked off shoulder to shoulder, I think, with Nobu there in the end. Oh, and Hyan goes down. Only Jessica and Jason remain. Oh, and Chow, I'm sorry, and Chow will find Jessica. Nicely done. A 5th for Ethereal 5.
Definitely a much more neutral game now that we're out of Haven, out of Ethereal 5's home, it seems. Even though it was pretty close in the end, but
it was, yeah.
Obviously going into the second half, 9-3, very advantageous in favor of them. This being much more equal, as we are only 3-5 here, unless Ethereal 5 just come out and win the next 4 in a row and just make it that same 9-3 that we see from them over and over again.
Oh, I don't expect that. And look, Capy have already set up here another player on the B site, but Ethereal 5 back on the A. Hyan has called it out. The rotations are coming slowly. And we'll see Jessica is going on a long flank, although Neon makes long flanks short work. Let's see, Kevin Sleepy already in art, putting pressure onto Chow here, gets the TP broken and knows the presence. Wow, Chow is completely surrounded. I don't think they expect that. Jessica's gotta get through.
Make it 3. Fox getting one in response. Fox getting 2 in response.
3 for Jessica to find.
Shutting that down. Nobu rounding it out against that also question Neon that has us wondering just about every series of how Neon is going to be utilized, but getting shut down there. 3-6 now. 9 rounds done. Are approaching round 10. 3-round lead for Ethereal 5. Still showing that they are here to play when they are outside of their home field.
We're going back to the exact same play that we saw earlier on. 1 on B, 4 on A. They're putting a little bit more into mid, but I like what they're doing with Jessica. They tried out a quick flank, but they got slowed down by a chamber TP, and now they're going to say, Jessica, just rotate through our spawn. If it's not an A hit. Anyway, forget it. It is an A hit. Ethereal 5 already on site. A lot of presence noted here. Kevin finds 1, but 2 traded back out. 3 traded back out. This is looking like Ethereal 5's round. Ooh, Hyan
just got
hurt
the
me.
plant off. Hyan. Oh, so close from Hyan, trying to get the pick on the planter before the spike got down. Just frames too late. The spike dropping at the last second. Hyan unable to close it out there, but very close opportunity. Will pick up the op though, as we've seen Hyan very lethal on it.
You know, I think there are really 3 teams, right? There's Ethereal 5, there's Capy, and then there's us as casters. We're a team. We work together. But sure. I gotta say, I don't want to call you out as my teammate, but I think you cursed them when you said they need 4 in a row, because they've gotten 2 in a row since then. And it looks like Ethereal 5 are not going to slow down. Never mind. Hyan heard. He's going to slow
Caster
down.
Curse. Caster Curse has been uncursed. Hyan with the op picks one up. Jason to shut it down. Equalizes the playing field. Lots of action. What we love to see. Jason getting another pick onto Sleepy. Jessica op picks it up onto Nobu. Now awaiting yet another peek. A site just seems so favorable right now. Jessica holding that angle, trying to find that aggressive push. Can't quite get it though. As Chow waiting against the far wall. Jessica was not expecting it. Fox trying to find the right opportunity to move in here. But
Look at this.
Waiting on teammates.
They're coming around the flank on mid, and they're going to use the Omen ult to grab that spike. So you can use the Omen ult and grab the spike. They're going to plant on the B site. And now they're hoping to catch these players on the rotate. Jason finds 1. It's all down to Fox. Fox pushing their way through. They know there's a player flanking them. They know one player likes to play B-Link. Someone was behind the box last time. They're not there now. Will they expect that? Now, that shot was to hide the drop. If you shoot, you don't know if it was a real shot or just a dropping off of a platform. But this time, it was a drop. Chow gets Fox, closes out the round 3-8 in favor of Ethereal 5.
We're 1 away from the 3-9. I was just kidding, Ethereal 5. You didn't have to do that. The game was so close. What happened?
I believe. 4-8 is definitely on the board. Capy have guns. They've got 2 different ops between the Chamber ult and Jessica's op. Man, that round was looking so doable. I'm really not clear on why Jessica went out to trade the op for the Vandal. Oh well. Anyway, another round, another chance. Here we go. Oh, Jessica's out of there. It's an A hit. The word has come in. So smart to leave the Neon to rotate. Manny gets caught out by Chow. That lurking chamber is such a problem. 2 ops in the same position. Imposter finds 1. It's still a 3v5, but they force the attackers to leave A site. Hyan is lurked so deep. Could get a couple of picks here. Oh my goodness. Hyan's position is absolutely insane as the attackers are making their way back onto A through art. This trip will pick them up. Oh, it would, except for the chamber player for the defense is dead. Kevin Sleepy, though, finds the spike. Chow finds Jessica and will also pick up Fox if Fox isn't careful. Yep, all down to Kevin in a 1v4 clutch to Ace. Ace clutch here from Kevin Sleepy, who was just waking up from the deepest of naps. And that's that. Nobu takes them out with a pinch from Jason there. And that's it. You cast or cursed them. It worked.
Ethereal 5, a bunch of 3 to 9 Nathaniels able for 3 games in a row to end their attacking half in favor of them 9 to 3. But we have seen how strong Capy are as well on offense. Both teams seeming like they perform at best on the offensive side of the pitch. So now 9 to 3, 6-round deficit, but we saw how close Capy was to bringing it back on Haven, which was it was Ethereal 5's pick. This is Capy's pick. Now we'll see if they are able to bring it back in a much more favorable. Jessica picks up 3 as Dagger's gonna pick up 1. Jessica already on target for an ace as Daggers and Nobu rotate in. Oh my goodness, what an opening from Jessica.
I like that you were saying, now how good are they at attacking? And Jessica's like, we're pretty good actually. Can she ace? No, Nobu picks up Jessica, but the spike will be planted anyway. And it's looking like a clean round. 3v2 in favor of Capy here on the attack. A nice long walk into Chambers' gun here for the defenders, Nobu and Dagris. They will break the TP, and they expect Chamber to peek, but Hyen is a little too aware for that. Such a ratty position, so hard to clear Hyen. Fade utility coming out, drawing even more crosshair placement and disruption. Nobu does eventually find Hyen. Kevin finds Dagris, and it's a 1v1. Kevin wins it out. I'm sorry, it was a 2v1. Kevin and Manny win it out. And Capy bring it 4 to 9. Maybe this is going to be a repeat of Haven, but this time we see Capy come all the way back. I don't want to curse them. You know what? Or maybe nothing will happen. Maybe nobody will win. Now what?
Maybe
now
the
who's
players
cursed?
just sit and spawn for the rest of it, although I guess that would mean the defenders do win, as there has to be a winner in this game, unfortunately. If this were Rocket League, which is what I'm used to, if everyone sat still, nothing would happen. But now something
horrible
would
game.
happen.
You gotta, things gotta happen. Them's the rules of games. Anyway,
Yeah.
we've got a buy up here for Capy as we go onto the A site. They're doing their best Ethereal 5 impression, but Ethereal 5 are just pushing out. Ethereal 5 are on a 4-man flank here, leaving just Nobu to play the role of defender. All right, great. Some more defenders coming into A link here. Help them out. Kevin picks one up. The spike is already down. My goodness, what a fast hit.
I feel like we didn't see a lot of Kevin last game. Kevin definitely starting to be brought up more this game, really showing up on Pearl. Perhaps Kevin was the ace for Pearl on the side of Capy. Able to maybe Kevin has only been playing Pearl since the day it came out.
I think that's what's happened, and Manny closes the round. I think Kevin, they were probably
Kevin's map.
The rest of the team was like, why don't we play on Breeze? And Kevin was like, no. Listen, hear me out. Let's do Pearl. I really feel like Pearl is good. I think we should get it on the board. They're gonna bonus now. They bonused last time when it was 2 wins and they were down 5-9. I'm not sure that I like that they're doing it, but Kevin does have a Vandal, so that's got to help them on this bonus round. And Hyen will also have a Vandal, so it's a pseudo bonus. 3 Spectres, 2 Vandals, a lot of pressure. And they know that Ethereal 5 like to push out. They've noted Chow's presence. They've destroyed the trademark. They're up into mid. Capy also looking for a pick on B long. Are they going to be aware of the possibility? Chow finds Jessica. Hyen finds Jason. What a couple of picks there. And you can see they're making presence on the B site, but they're expecting to catch some defenders rotating over. Unfortunately, the defenders have all gone extremely safely through spawn, meaning it's a lot of work for Kevin on site, and Nobu has already sent them home for the day.
Now with the spike down, you see the very long B main.
So long.
Manny and Nobu. It's not even called long, it's called main.
That's insane.
But it's long. Nobu
It's
can still hit those
long.
headshots all the way.
Dagger's
be
finds
long.
Fox.
B, whatever you want to call it. just B not, because it's not quite sight. It's just B not, if you will.
It's B.
It's basically B.
It's B-ish. I like B not. I like B not. It
So
is
you
a
got
not.
B,
It's hard to
you got
untangle.
B not, and then bridge is like B-ish, you know? Like
There's so much
got-
B. B goes on
you
forever
got,
on this map.
You got B length that's like kind of B.
B for
It
days.
Just so many places around B that aren't quite B, but I know that they want to be B. It's
Oh!
Jason looking for an early pickup, gets
Oh my
high
gosh, he
in.
finds it.
What a pick
Oh,
up to start
tagged
it
up.
off. Gets out of there. Trying to clean.
Pressure put on B, but the
Jessica.
spike has been left in spawn. Capy definitely
Ooh,
knows
I didn't
that.
notice that.
Yeah, they're trying to protect it now. Fox is probably making some callouts like, hey, there's a couple of people pushing out of A, and I would love for someone to collect the spike so we can go somewhere. Neon and Fade now working their way back mid. This chamber trap though will give them away if they choose to go down B Link. Ever heard of it? Another B place. Is it gonna work out? Oh, your presence is given away. At least one noted. But the defenders are pretty confident it's going to be an A hit by the looks of it. They know they've rotated off of B, and they're willing to hold that usual A main entrance. Not realizing that the defenders have become the attackers, and the attackers have become the defenders. Look at this. Attackers working their way through A Link and Art. Not much time left. They hear the running. They know they're not suspected. Pulling everybody over to the A site. Jason, so far away. Chow, I'm sorry, so far away. 3 on 3. Sorry, 2 on 3. And Nobu has been tethered. Oh my gosh, Jessica is just so clean. Nobu has a lot to do here. They've gotten these 1v3 clutches before. Can they do it again? Get their team to 11, or is it going to be a 6-10 scoreline? Got the ult, they're choosing to hold it. And that's bad news. Presence now heard. They don't find the first. Fox ducks the bullets. And that's 6-10. Capy showing up.
Missing that jump. The sound reveal came out. Very unfortunate for Nobu. 6-10 now as Capy look to find their way back. I know we were talking about calling them door dashers earlier. I don't really remember where we were going with that, but
who's to say? I think that was Ethereal 5, right? That were the door dashers, and these were they greeted them at the door. Capy
yeah,
did.
Capy were the ones that held the food smiling. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So Capy very oh, it was when we were talking about spike planting. Capy whenever they plant, they stay on site.
Yes.
Versus Ethereal 5, whenever they plant, they like to be
wow! Look at the awareness
box.
there, finding imposter through the box. Jessica finds Nobu at the same time. This round is falling apart for Ethereal 5. Another one for Jessica. Holy cow, she is on fire. And is it red? No, one of the players drifting over to A, another mid, and B is completely open. Not even a trip or a trap on there. Jason does recover a Vandal. That'll help. Well, but Manny already had one. Didn't need to recover. And it's all down to Dagras for a 1v5 ace. I'm not a betting man, but I don't know. I don't know if they've got it. Fox shuts it down.
I was really hoping that they would. That
Dagras would 1v5 ace clutch. That would be nice.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you said it, so I kind of have to hope against it, you know.
No, I understand.
If you're gonna call out that it's not looking good, I have to bet against you. I have to be devil's advocate. I have to watch the world burn, I suppose.
The balance has to be restored, you know? We can't just have both casters being like, yeah, I think this person's probably not gonna win this. You can't do that.
Capy doing a great job of bringing this game a bit closer from that 9-3 deficit at half.
We never quite saw them catch up on Haven, but they're doing a much better job of it here on Pearl. Nobu is crouched down here. You might be wondering why they're looking at the floor. It's because if you're crouched down and you look at the floor, your head is not visible in this little cubby position. So Nobu is behind all of Capy. And now, presence not noted. They could have gotten one, but why get one when you can get One. Oh, just one actually in the end. Excellent play by Nobu. Shut down too soon. Hyan finds one completely blind.
Enemy remaining.
And it's all down to Imposter. And I'm gonna, you know what? I'll play this side of it this time. I think they can do it. A 1v4 clutch.
Imposter with the Sheriff has this on lock. I've never seen Imposter lose this one before. So confident on the Sheriff. Just a really great player overall as the utility's coming out trying to shut down Imposter, but Imposter does not care, going to rotate in as, well, never mind. It looks like Imposter will be turning around. It looked like the rotate in was
Yeah, they're just gonna die to the spike. Yep, they just wanted to get that money. They've lost a couple in a row. It's 3,000 to die, basically, 1,000 to live. What's the point?
Imposter was really close to winning that, though.
You think? Yeah, I think you're right. I think Imposter.
Really close.
When you think about it, just 4 clicks away. Hardly anything. If you double click twice, that's all it would have taken. Vandals being traded here.
8 to 10.
8 to 10. And I think this is an eco round. No. Last round was an eco round for Ethereal 5. So this round they've got full guns. They're aware of this B possibility. And I think Capy might be checking that corner a little bit more often. If they figured out actually where Nobu came from last round, they might not realize. Chow whiffs that first op shot and will reposition. The B hit is known. And Jessica finds 2, almost finds Chow. Just 10 away. Manny's trying to spam it out. Spike will go down. They're backing up. What I'm really interested in is look at Fox's position here, working their way through B link, clearing that out for their team.
I know exactly.
And they use that corpse. Oh, to swing on Chow. Beautiful play there. Jason will find Fox, but it's just not quite enough. And that means it's 9-10 going into an anti-eco for Capy Gaming. If you're a Capy stan, this is a great day for you. This is a great moment. You're looking at map 3 maybe here. Oh, I see.
Timeout. That. See, that makes sense. The timeout that came out in the previous game did not make sense. This timeout.
That was the pizza.
That was pizza guy was at the door. This time, I believe Imposter actually going to be discussing some strategy here, as now Ethereal 5 find themselves in a situation they have not found themselves in this entire tournament. While they do have a 1-round advantage, it is very clear that they are playing from behind, as Capy have been so dominant on offense, able to close that 6-round deficit down to just a mere 1.
Yeah.
So Ethereal 5, definitely a good time to use the timeout, try and regain mentally, not let that avalanche continue. Put a pause on the avalanche, see if you can get the shovels and shovel the snow out before it resumes and gravity is unpaused, as timeout will check out to 0. Buy phase in, and Ethereal 5 need to find something soon, or Capy's momentum just going to carry them all the way back up the mountain.
You know, we've cast for a while now together, and you just keep me so surprised, you know? I think, it's gonna be DoorDash metaphors. No, this time it's avalanches and mountaineering. And look at this, the same position, the same ratty position, unsuspected by Nobu, and the chamber fake, it doesn't. Jessica checks it this time. Hyan finds Chow, Manny finds Imposter. It's all coming apart, and it's looking like a tie game here, except for there is one last hope for Ethereal 5.
Spike planted.
Oh boy. Oh, come on.
That's not a good start.
That's
not a good start, Jason.
But you know what, Jason? I've never seen them lose I have now actually seen Jason lose it one time. This kind of situation. The double trip. What did you think?
10 to 10 now. Capy, they were able to, their shovels, I guess the scoops of their shovel bigger, while Ethereal 5 were shoveling snow away from the avalanche. Capy was shoveling even more snow back in. Perhaps they had a leaf blower at the top of the mountain, just blowing all the snow down, creating an even bigger avalanche. The game now tied 10 to 10. Capy,
you know,
with all of the momentum.
I was reading an article recently about how most avalanches are caused by snowblowers at the tops of mountains. It's a huge problem in the skiing and snowboarding community. Anyway, sorry, the A hit is fast and furious. And Jason is caught here in the bunker, which Jessica suspects, but it doesn't matter. Jason still gets the kill. The showstopper coming out will not connect. Jason finds a second, dismissing into the site. You very rarely see that. Manny finally shuts them down. And Daggerus shuts Manny down as continuing the feud from the previous map. A defuse comes in, not being stuck though. And the attackers are now aware that nobody is on the spike. Kevin Sleepy gets traded out. It's now just Imposter against Xiao. Oh, I'm sorry, against Hyan.
Don't want to see Hein with the op here.
No, you really don't.
Oh.
This is a crucial round. Oh! And they win it! They don't have time, I don't think. Imposter wins the duel, but loses the round. Oh, heartbreaking to have to come off the spike then. The footsteps heard, and Imposter must have thought, I'll have enough time, I'll have enough time, I'll have enough time, but not quite enough. 11-10. A very forced buy coming in here from Ethereal 5. They do not want to buy if they go to 12-10. And it's looking like Capy, they've clawed their way back to the lead here, Jay.
A 6-goal deficit, 6-game. Wow, sorry, I cast Rocket League too much. A 6-round deficit now to a 1-round advantage. Capy flying from the deepest of depths, finding their way back up out of the hole that was dug for them by Ethereal 5.
With
Now
their shovels.
Yep, the shovels. Bring back the shovels. Oh! Chow. A little bit late on the pick there. Fox might still peek. It does get the advantage against the op with the Vandal. What a shot from Fox.
And not even just enough, Marshall. Yeah, and Jessica was picked off earlier. I think by Jason. That Cypher ult is coming in for Capy, which means every defender's position is noted. The B site is free and the attackers know it. Jason up here. Oh, and now look at that. The Seas is holding them in place. So even if they blind these players, they are going to be stuck here for a second. Nobu finds Kevin. Spike planted. Fox in their favorite little angle, but Dagger's so aware, gives it up at the wrong time. Dagger's with a wide swing there. Hop and swing around the corner. And Hyan holding the angle as the defuse comes in. Did they hear it? I don't think they heard it because of the fade ult. They did it, but it doesn't matter. Hyan clutches up to bring their team to 12. Holy cow. This is a series.
12-10 now. Very, very close match point in favor of Capy, when at the half they were so far behind. Talk about an avalanche, talk about a hole, I don't know. Shovel metaphor coming in favor of Capy. 1 round separating us from a game for 3, going the full length of the series. But Ethereal 5, that's the last thing they want right now.
They don't want to see Fracture. They want to stay on Pearl
right now.
They really are. They've got incredible positions here. We've never seen Chow up here. Such a cheeky spot, but position given away by those shots.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter, still good for 1 before getting out. And Imposter will trade out Jessica. They are fighting for their lives here. They want this
Good
round.
start.
And they've forced Capy off of the site. They're going to be rotating back. 2 players making their way over to A. 2 players looking maybe to anchor B. No, all 4 will be making their way mid or A.
Teleport's ready.
Have Capy read this? No, they're going back over to the A site as well. This is going to be a heck of a duel here. Daggerus, look at this. Look at this crazy position here. Kevin, what are you doing?
Oh,
Oh my god, you're getting a kill. Holy cow, I didn't expect that from Kevin. All right, 1 kill makes it even 3v3. Position's not expected. Star goes down. And Hyan holding the angle, so good. Hyan has been so crucial on this map, and Chow doesn't care about that at all. Takes them out immediately. Makes their way onto site, but with the spike down and the Astra utility used to pull the diffuser off, it's going to be a very hard retake here. And that's the map. Pearl goes the way of Capy. It's a 1-1 series. We are going to fracture to find out which of these teams will be the grand finals winner for this week's Frost Esports Whiteout Weekly. Wow. An absolutely incredible series by both teams so far. I did not expect Capy to come back. I'm not going to lie. I thought they were going to be shut out.
Capy, a great showing on Pearl, showing that despite being down at the half, their offensive pressure just so prominent, able to bring it back, only letting Ethereal 5 take one single game after the half. Meanwhile, other side of the pitch, Capy taking 10. So a great showing from Capy when it looked like they were down and out. They found their way back up to the top. We will have game number 3 of the series, the final game, the championship deciding match with you momentarily, but we are going to go to a short break.
And we're already back with the agent selects. We talked to the two teams. We said, we're going to take a quick break. And they said, we can't handle it. The pressure is too much. We're too invested. We got to know who's winning this week's Whiteout Weekly. Who's getting that $100 cash prize. And I do not know how that prize structure works. So I don't know if it's all going to one team. But either way, we're in the grand finals. We're on map 3. It doesn't get more tense than this. And let's see what we've got here. On the attack, of course, we have Ethereal 5, their favorite position. Dagras on the Neon. Nobu on the Breach. Breach, an absolutely necessary pick on this map. We've seen a Breach on each side now. A Brimstone on each side. This is looking like a very standard comp. Now, the Neon pick on most maps is still a bit niche, but on Fracture, it's been popularized by Optic, the winners of the most recent tournament, Reykjavik, and now fighting for their life in Copenhagen. So we're expecting to see a lot of Neon walls to get onto the B site. What I'm surprised by is that neither team has chosen a Sage, which would be very useful for getting an A plant, cutting off of some of the rotations, because as you can see, Fracture is a giant circle. So it's a slightly attack-sided map because there's just so many places that the attackers can come from, and even when they hit you one place, they can pull all the defense one way, back off, and already be on the other side of the map, just going back around the circle sort of clockwise or counterclockwise, pulling and pushing the defense how they want to. Chamber, obviously a standard pick on every map at this point, and we see one on each team. And then for initiators, what do we have? Breach on both sides, KO coming out in E5's composition, but it looks like Capy have instead chosen to go with a Fade, which I'm interested to see how they use the Fade, if they have any lineups. We've got an early push here down the stairs by the defenders Capy. Jason is on the other side of it. They don't actually meet them there because Imposter has smoked it off. We've got 3 players coming up to the arcade side of B, and some peeking out by the defenders here. But it looks like this B push has been read. Dagras is already on the site, sitting in tower with a shorty, taking a long angle. Very bold by Dagras. Doesn't seem to matter. Manny and Jessica take over. Imposter finds one, but it's already looking rough for the attacks here from E5. Imposter, though, this is what I was talking about, is already on the other site, essentially. They've got the spike. Do they expect this chamber trap? They forget about it in the moment. They're slowed, and Hyan is right there with the pick.
Hyan coming in, shutting down that counter rotation that you talked about that is so dangerous, just able to pull out of one site and go immediately to the other so quickly. But Hyan, of course, at the level that they're playing, probably knows that better than I. as he does catch that final rotation coming out. Shuts down a potential opportunity, and Capy find themselves. This is the first time, or no, this is the second time that we've seen Capy win the pistol round. They didn't win it on Haven, but they won it on Pearl, and now they win it now. And that being said, every time a team wins the first pistol round, they win the entire game.
True.
Fun fact.
True. That's been true all night tonight. Oh! Dagris finds that first pick with the tip of the spear. They got the frenzy. They got light shields, and Kevin doesn't mind either of those things. Picks up 2, but the spike will go down, which is already enormous. Kevin looking for a third, but Manny has to clean it up a little bit as Nobu does get the trade. And the defuse is coming in already. They're not even waiting to pick up Jason, although they do find him in the end. A nice clean round there overall. A couple of picks coming in for E5, but nothing that Capy can't recover from. And we're now at my favorite round, the bonus round.
Bonus round.
It's always interesting, because the bonus round, you know, if you have guns that cost less, you're expected to lose. But it kind of often gets wonky. All of a sudden, guns are being traded. Some people who didn't have rifles have rifles. And it just is always exciting, you know. If no matter which way it goes, it's exciting. E5 do have the rifles.
The shenanigan round. Very excited to see it. Perhaps some shenanigans will occur. So we do see a delayed offensive push, but Capy so aggressive into the spawn. Jessica gonna pick up 1. Dagris shutting down 4 players down now into a 3v3. What a big push.
What a push.
Out early in order to give, or try to give, an advantage to Capy, but does end up leveling the playing field. Dagris so careful here, but so controlled. Zhao hitting the kill onto Hyan.
That's a crucial kill, because Hyan had bought an op into this round. There's so much being invested into this round by Capy. I saw that brim right there. Kevin was thinking, maybe I'm going to go for my ult. That would be devastating. Dagris finds the third. That op is now in E5's hands. They've won the round, and they've also picked up the most valuable gun that Capy had.
Definitely a big economic win there. Not only puts them on the board, but gives them a lot to play with that they did not have before, getting that free op pick up. And now 2-1, but we see ops on both sides. Hyan and Jason, the matchup of the night. We'll see. So I'm sure they might meet each other. We will see which player comes out on top in that interaction.
I am so confused. Hyan had an op last round and an op this round? Who's buying Hyan? This guy's a bad investment. You can't keep buying this dude ops. Anyway.
You have to keep buying Hyan ops.
That's true. After the last map, you're absolutely right. He's a great investment. It just seems crazy. Oh, you lost an op? It's no big deal. I have another one. You'll get him this time, kid. Anyway. 3 players looking to push arcade. What they may not realize is that Kevin is here with the judge. They don't realize he goes into the neon wall and gets 1. Chow trades it out, though. Incredible work. The flash gets Nobu. Manny in tower. And it will be a B hit. The trades are coming in. The spike has yet to go down. Tower's cleared. It's a 2v3 here on site. What an incredible haunt lineup. I didn't think that could see arcade at all. 1 player in arcade known, 1 player on spike known. Fox now known. Oh, is good for 2, but can't quite get the third. And that's going to be 2-2 to start us off here on Fracture. This is going to be a close map, I think, Jay.
This is the first time that we haven't seen a team run away with it. This is the first neutral matchup we've seen. But the issue that is presented with that, as you said before, this is an attack-favored map, so while you are attacking inside of Ethereal 5, you do want to be able to give yourself a bit of a lead, as the second half for you not expected to be as great as the first. So Capy, by keeping this neutral, doing a very good job on defense, holding it 2-2. We still have plenty of rounds to go before we get to the half, but just an interesting thought for everyone.
True. And another interesting thing is, look what Capy are doing here. They've got 2 players over on this A site holding for A main, nobody holding dish. And that's a good read by them. They also have a player under, one player pushed through arcade, and Kevin here sitting on just a very forward angle. About to be caught. A bit too forward, I think. And the 2 players on A have fallen. It's all up to Fox and Jessica. Reliable players. Can they take this 2v4 with nothing but sheriffs? I think that'll take a little bit more than reliability.
Last player standing.
Ooh.
Jessica.
Nobu.
Oh,
Oh, Jessica.
good.
Read it back in the other direction. Does pick up the op. Now has to get this peek. This peek can determine it all. Get the hit, imposter. Jessica's just gonna run away with
So smart.
how fast Neon is. Just get out of there. Try and save the op, but is now being hunted as
Hold the angle, and
Jessica with the
Jessica.
op. Jessica able to
Wow.
get another pick against Chow. Is just gonna look to hold the op. Wow, what a play coming out from Jessica.
What a play, and they've read that they're gonna have sent the players in different directions, so she knows there's nobody else here on Dish, or she suspects so much. And she is just playing such a safe game here. Gets 2 picks, gets the op. That's enormous, and it looks like she's gonna pass it off to Hyan. No, Hyan bought his own op, so Jessica gets to keep this one as a reward, as a bonus. That's nice.
Two ops.
Unreal. Unreal. In fact, Hyan has now realized, oh, I don't even need to buy the op. I've got my ult. Let me buy somebody else a gun. And they're back into this round. It's looking like Capy, you know, they're losing on the scoreboard, but their economy is fantastic.
Definitely a bit of money to play with on their side. Underway. Jason gets an early pick on Fox. Give them a slight advantage. Neon wall comes out. Chow sneaking through it, trying to pick up Manny. Can't. But doesn't know how many players are behind that smoke. Gets caught out. Imposter gonna pick up one. Nobu picks up one. And
Nobu's going for
advantage
it.
comes out. Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. Manny's
Wow.
going for it.
Manny. Yeah, Manny was just. Okay, Manny, give me a second to catch up with you. Jesus.
Oh, that was wild. Manny was like, what's it, 3 players? I'm just going to flash and run out. I don't care if they know where I am. It'll be fine. That was something. But it is now 2-4. This is a pretty dominant lead coming out of Ethereal 5. And I have a quick question for you, Jay, which is how does Hyan have another operator? They're down 2 rounds, and Hyan just keeps having ops no matter what happens.
Hyan
Maybe-
is the spoiled child. If he wants it, he gets it. There's
He
just no
gets it.
question. If
That's
Hyan
true.
wants the op, if he asks his teammates to buy an op, they will buy it.
They'll buy it. They
That
got
is
no
the-
questions.
That's just how it works. You can't question Hyan's needs. Oh,
Chow
Chow.
picks up Kevin. Wow, this early aggression is really not working out for Capy. They keep exploring, they keep poking out, and they keep just getting picked off. That remember we had the trade last round where I think actually Kevin again came downstairs, and now Kevin has been picked off over by Dish. A little too much exploring there from the Brimstone. No escape method. Hyan stuck under sight. Should be able to TP off, but it's down. Jessica saves his life. And Hyan is making it worth their while. The molly is good, but Kevin just gets off of that angle. Gets out into the open, probably doesn't think he's this. Oh my gosh, far out as he is, but he gets the pick anyway. The spike is rotating through off of an excellent call that B was free, but it turned out that it was free until Manny got there. And now I think Nobu doesn't know where to go. They're working their way back A. 30 seconds on the clock. It's looking like the A hit is going to be the final decision. And it is still, I gotta say, Jay, it's clutchable. Hyan is here on very low HP, and they're both on the B site. Plus, Nobu has his ult up.
Very doable indeed. The clock ticking
10
down
seconds
as
left.
it's about time to get planting. Will get it done right before. Waits till one of the last possible moments. Coming out Hyan, now chipped away at his health. We'll see the rotation coming in. Nobu just trying to get away in that classic Ethereal 5 style. Get away from sight rather. Get a pick. Oh, he gets the read!
Second, Nobu with the 1v2 clutch. What?
What a read from Nobu.
The footsteps just gave it all away, and for some reason, For some reason, Manny switched back to the Sheriff instead of the Vandal that I think they'd recovered, and they just had their knife out. They were just sprinting. They thought for sure that Nobu was just gonna sit on the spike. Wow, what a play there. I am really interested. We keep seeing Hyan on this A site, and I want to highlight how often Hyan backs off of this first angle, but then doesn't have the teleporter up for the second angle that they fall back to. And I'm not really sure if we're going to keep seeing that or if they're going to notice, hey, I'm in a vulnerable position here. But we're not going to see it this round. It's a B hit, a fast B hit, one up tower taken care of, two up tower taken care of. Fox is so good with the spray, so good with that clear. And Kevin gets imposter and Nobu there. Jason looking to save this off that he picked up from the most beloved child on Capy Hyan. And that means Capy gets to 3.
Definitely a good round to pick up there, as it looked like Ethereal 5 were starting to get a little bit too hot for Capy's comfort. Capybaras being an aquatic animal, they do like to cool off in a nice bit of water. They don't want to stay on land for too long. Well,
that's why they picked
know where I was
Pearl.
going with that.
No, I mean, it made sense for Pearl. I feel like we're just a map like
I had a thought there, and then I lost it. That's
like
okay, Capy.
You gotta try it out, you know. Capybaras.
Yeah, so you can't win all of them, okay?
You can't.
You gotta keep trying until some sticks. Capybaras,
see.
aquatic animals, they don't like the heat.
Nobu gets Kevin. Oh, Fox is so good in tower. My goodness. Doesn't play around with the Vandal this time. Just gets that shorty kill. Jessica spams down the planter, but not before the plant goes down. It's a 3v3, and Fox is finally taken out of their home. Jessica is on the site, though. Goes right past Jason, who TPs off their angle. They know a player's in tower. And they find one mid. Oh! Chow peeks out. They were getting that 50-50. Nice try by Jessica. That's 6 on the board now for E5.
Despite the best efforts from Jessica, it's really hard to play in those 1v3 situations when you're surrounded, as all one defender has to do in that situation is peek. And then once the peek is done, once the location is revealed, the 2 remaining players can pop their heads and spit and let Jessica's head just spin in circles, as it's impossible to win in that situation. But Jessica, best efforts, not quite able to find it, but did find one pick for a little bit of consolation. However, we'll see if they are able to continue that momentum on the side of Ethereal 5, as Capy, while they are behind, they've been chipping away at the momentum of Ethereal 5, not quite letting them run away with it.
Agreed.
But Ethereal 5 definitely playing a good game.
They're not running at all this round, but they do seem to be walking away with it. Look at this. A slow push into A main. Now a lot of utility used to clear angles that nobody's on. The fade ult will come off. I don't know if that got any hits either. A quick hit here, and look at Jessica's position. Fox finds one. Manny finds 2 before going down. Jessica is tucked into top of site, finally pays off with the classic. And it's all down to Jason with that off in a 1v4. I said it's not a retake really, but just a 1v4 clutch, I suppose. Spikes down. And position is noted.
Not what you want in the 1v4, to have your position available. Oh, but Jason gets the first pickup. Has to try and get into safety to let that bolt action, well, bolt, but unfortunately not able to. Timeout comes out from Imposter. Very interesting. Perhaps the second pizza is here.
The second pizza is here. Ethereal 5, I will say this makes a little bit more sense to me than the last pizza that we saw, because the pizza break that we saw, because 4-6, like you highlighted earlier, like we were talking about, this is an attack-sided map, and it's starting to slip away a little bit from Ethereal 5. The money is looking rough. They only have one player really that can buy a full rifle utility, and that is Jason. They don't have any ults. It's starting to feel like they might be looking down the barrel of a 4-7. If they force up, maybe a 4-8, and that's a 5-6 and then a 6-6, which is a much worse half, because Capy have shown themselves to be very proficient on the attack. So Ethereal 5, as we get this tour, they're focused up. they're eating their pizza. They're getting their DoorDasher. They're getting the smiles, but they are also probably talking about how do we turn this around? Do we want to lose the next round or save the next round and then buy into the next, or the plan? And I guess we'll find out what the plan is. Sorry?
So important plan.
Yes.
What will it be? Ethereal 5 needing to take as many rounds while they're on the attack.
Careful here.
Can, but aren't that many more
Careful
rounds?
Careful here.
And we're seeing an odd split here. We're seeing some pressure B arcade and A main. Usually you'd see the attackers pick a side or just hold for a default. There is a strong push here into arcade. No presence noted off of Fox's utility there. Might give some false confidence. And yep. Oh, Kevin from underneath finds two before Jason clicks his head. Nobu is there to try to recover something. And Hyen in a rough position, but finds one, manages to switch to the headhunter in time. Fox aware that another has gone underneath, and in fact both are there. Fox finds one, Fox finds two. Unbelievable work there. Capy win that round, and that was a forced buy,
Last round before the switch.
which means there's only going to be a handful of members of E5 who can buy into this round, and one of them, Jason, has bought an op.
It's not 9-3.
It's not 9-3.
Just want to put that out there. It is in fact not 9-3. The world, what happened? We're living in a new era.
I gotta come to Rocket League casting. I gotta say, that is analysis. What you just did. Hey, look at this. It's not 9-3. That's rough news for E5 fans, but that's great news for everybody who's watching, because we're gonna have a great series here. We're gonna have a great final map. Two teams that are very evenly matched. Look at this B hit coming in. Hyen on this angle, so aware, finds the first pick onto Jason, who is jiggling just his shoulder. And pop your ult, why not? It's the last round. Why not have two ops? The last round and a half, just to clarify for viewers. There is going to be a second half, as is the way of halves. Jessica finds Dagris, and Hyen finds another. It's all down to Nobu and Imposter. And by that I mean just Imposter, actually, who is, in fact, dead. So, a 6-6 half. Wow.
That's interesting.
That isn't 9-3.
That's why it's interesting. It's not 9-3.
It's not 9-3. I kind of hope we see an overtime here. These teams seem so evenly matched. I really enjoy watching these play styles. E5, so aggressive. They push so hard. And Capy, as a counterpoint, are super aggressive. They also push really hard. And it's always fun to watch. There's not a lot of sitting around. And when there is, it's always followed by an explosion onto one side or the other. And here we go. Capy looking like they're going to hit the A site on this pistol round. Jessica pushing A main.
Let's go.
And everybody else pushing dish. The trap set up to hold the flank out of B from arcade. Whoa, dish players noted, but Chow finds two. And Dagris finds another. Wow, this is looking so clean. Jessica, you know, we've all been in this position, Jessica. You're pushing through a main and you're saying, hey, all clear here. And then you hear the announcer say, one player remaining, or last player standing. Finds one on drop and taken out by Jason.
Chow, so close to that ace there. Unfortunately, could not find Jessica as the fifth, but a very, very good attempt nonetheless. I know we're talking about Boohoo couldn't get the ace, but still a very good showing for Ethereal 5, needing to find a bit of momentum in their favor as Capy. It looks like things have been in their favor recently. This game, very close. When I say in favor, I don't mean by much. The game teeter-tottering like a triple beam balance scale, if you will.
Wow, I will.
There. Yeah, consider that. Think about that. Triple beam balance scale. That's exactly how the momentum is this game. Trying to find that perfect weight on the scale. Just going back and forth in favor of either side. Right now in
so
favor
hard.
of Capy, but Ethereal 5 needing to swing it back in their favor. They do have the advantage this round.
They can't
have
find
gotten
the
a few good
balance here
picks.
because it's an avalanche, you know? And you can't use
Oh, the
a triple
shovels.
beam balance because all these shovels in the avalanche. Whoa, Nobu finds Kevin
Spike down A.
during our metaphor session, our free association here. This is a rough round so far for Capy. E5 using these better weapons. And really holding here. Can they find another? They do. And they're just gonna hold Spike. They're spamming this smoke, but nobody's on the other side of it. They can't know. Ian looking to recover the Spike. Might be... Oh, what's happening here? They're just seeing a little dance. They're just having fun, you know?
That's interesting. Nobu, gonna come out on top of that. Hold on a minute.
High end does get that one. Oh my gosh. Can they get another? No. Xiao shuts them down. That was funny. Yeah, I'll do a little simple analysis on that. First of all, it's fun to play games. they saw each other and they thought, this is why don't you shoot first? But really, when you're moving in Valorant, you're significantly less accurate. And if you miss the first shot, it gives the other person an opportunity to take advantage of that and then get their first most accurate shot in on you, while your next couple shots are going to be inaccurate due to a firing error. So since they were both moving, if they fired first and they missed, they were at a significant disadvantage. But also, most importantly, it's just fun to play games sometimes. Sometimes you gotta have fun. Oh, Jason, gonna challenge A main and actually win it out. That's 3 picks in favor of E5 at the start of the round, only 1 going the way of Capy. As Hyan makes his way onto the B site. Fox close behind. It's looking like it's going to be a B hit. There are no defenders here, and only this trip holding it. Hyan doesn't know that. They're making their way slowly, waiting for Fox to come so they can hit the site properly. Use a bit of util to clear out positions, and now their position is known. The defenders will be rotating around. 2 in arcade, 1 coming up in canteen, and 1 on A. Fox finds 1. Hyan goes down early. Not good for a second, as Dagris will clean up the round. E5 get to 9. They usually do this in 1 half.
Hachi, were you lying to me when you said that this map was offensive oriented?
No.
Are you sure?
I listen, when I play it,
E5 is making it look like the exact opposite. They're showing no signs of struggling in this second half on defense.
Well, the thing is, the thing about that is
Tell me the
E5
thing.
they're good at the game, is what it comes down to. They are good at this thing where when they see someone, they hit them in the head kind of a lot.
Okay.
That's good on both sides on this map.
Right, of course.
Yeah. Also,
Head
genuinely,
just don't go away.
they're getting so aggressive early on. Jason finds that opening pick again in A main. They keep peeking that off, hoping it won't be there. Hoping it'll switch to another angle. Jessica is spotted, flashed up, and Dagger finds Fox, expecting Jessica. Ooh, and finds Jessica, expecting Jessica.
Dagger's finding Jessica, expecting to find Jessica. Here at Frost Esports, we only hire the highest quality casters here and analysts. As the player expecting to find Jessica did in fact find Jessica. Dagger's now expecting to find Hand, finds Hand, makes it stick for 3. Daggers finds 4 and takes the round. E5 now 6-10.
I'm just glad that everybody who was looking for somebody found them. You know? who cares who won the round? I'm just glad that everybody who was looking for Jessica found Jessica. And Hyan. Wow, 6-10. This is a commanding start, but now we see a gun round coming out of Capy. They have a chance to slow this down, take control, and prove, most importantly, to you, Jay, that I was not lying, and that this is an attack-sided map.
I'm waiting for it.
It's coming, I believe. And here we go. We got to push upstairs. 1 player out arcade. Just Fox arcade. Dagris just doesn't even pay Fox any mind. And is already good for 2.
Whoa.
Imposter pushing downstairs.
Wow.
Wow.
They're
Only
just
Fox
clicking
left.
better.
They're just clicking better.
They're
The
just
thing
clicking
is,
better.
it's an attack-sided map, but E5 is attacking even when their characters are green. You know, it doesn't matter where they spawn. They're on attack. And 6-11. This is a commanding lead at this point. It is looking desperate for Capy. I'm surprised we're not seeing a timeout, but I respect it, you know? They're like, we don't have any ideas that we need to talk about. Win your duels. Get your picks.
I think Riot Games in that round forgot to put the attackers because it looked like E5 just walked around the map and all of a sudden they got a win.
Yeah,
There was
that's exactly what
no
happened.
sign of resistance whatsoever from
You want to
Capy.
play?
Just
Let's
such a
play.
performance. Round. Jason gonna
Oh,
get the pick again. He keeps
Unlucky.
getting this pick every round.
he does. And that time they weren't repeaking the same angle that he usually holds. He was on a different angle. Still gets the first pick. Sorry, Fox. And look at this. They've got a player out dish. They've got a trap on A main. And it looks like Capy is going to try to make their way under into arcade. One player holding stairs, one player holding arcade. Hyen's presence is noted on stairs. That should draw some attention. But still such awareness out of Xiao.
Spike down
Finds
B.
2 there. And that's the spike. This is looking like they're going to get to match point.
The devastating turn of events for Capy. We talked about how close it was when we were on Pearl, where Capy were just able to come out with a win in a very close game. E5 on their home turf on Haven. Still a very close game, but now E5 on the map that you'd least expect it, starting to run away with it. Now,
Oh, Xiao, good for 3.
it's the pick. Man, it's that
Unbelievable.
third one. Jessica expecting to find somebody is
No.
Nobu finding Jessica, probably expecting to find Jessica. And now E5 on match point. 1 round win, separating them from that grand finals winners title, taking the $70 of the $100 prize pool. Of
That's
course,
how it works.
both teams guaranteed part of the prize pool here, but first place getting 70, second place 30. So obviously you do want to step up to that top of the podium spot.
Absolutely.
Get this potential final round underway. All of the momentum.
Oh,
And a pick from
Jason!
Jason off the start. Tries to make
Hyen
2, but
trades it
does
back.
get it shut down.
Wow, Jason so reliable in that early pick. Capy now fighting for their life. Imposter shuts Jessica down. Hyen making his way under, hoping to catch a player off guard. This B hit is fully red. And the trip is actually turned off right now as the KO ult makes Chamber ineffective. It doesn't look like they're going to take advantage of that. Oh? Doesn't expect one to be close, and Hyen makes good use of that. Fox finds Nobu. It's now a 2v3 in favor of Capy. They want to get to 7. They don't want a flawless half. Kevin will be getting the plant down. E5 desperate to get back onto site. Daggers finds Kevin. Xiao already at the spike. They're creeping up. The defuse is coming in. And it looks like they're going to hold it. Nope, Xiao is off the spike, has half. But they're so aware, Xiao back on it. There's no time for Hyen to rotate, and Xiao has won the game, the map, the match, the series, the grand finals for E5. Ethereal 5 win Frost Esports Whiteout Weekly this week. Wow.
What an ending. Sticking the defuse and getting off of it, getting that pick anyways, despite being at the disadvantage. What a showing from E5 in the second half. They look like they couldn't be stopped.
They really did. E5 it looked so even in that first half, and then E5 just came out on their defensive side and they said, let's make Hachimachi look like a liar. He said it's an attack-sided map, and honestly, he's used to Rocket League. He's not sure. We're gonna show them it's defense-sided this round, and it really was such incredible use of the Neon utility by Daggers. So aggressive. Jason so reliable with those first picks. I mean, Jason has the lowest ACS on their team. I'm sorry, Jason has the lowest ACS on Ethereal 5 in that map. Gets the first blood. It's felt like every single round. Unbelievable performance from Ethereal 5 here. Just absolutely deserved.
And a very, very well fought battle. Obviously, no discredit to Capy. Full name Capybara. As I'm
Is that
cool like
confirmed?
that and know their full name. Well, okay, their profile picture in Battlefy is a capybara, so I can say it's confirmed. The capybaras, unfortunately, despite being aquadynamic, don't quote me on that. I might be an aerospace engineer, but they're aerodynamic in the water, aquadynamic, however you want to put it.
That's
Not
English.
able.
That's just good
Yeah, I'm
language.
just putting words together at this point.
I
They
love it.
weren't able to come out with the win, but still second place, still fighting their way through those previous matches, still finding their way in the grand finals, taking it to game number 3 after a heroic comeback for game number 2 on Pearl. But that is it for myself. That is it for Hachi. Thank you everyone for watching, as you guys are the reason that we put these tournaments on. Hachi, is there anything you have to say before we head off?
I have to say, congratulations to both of these teams. Congratulations, especially to Ethereal 5. And to everybody watching, if you are at the top of a mountain with a snowblower, turn it off. You know, don't make people at the bottom use their shovels to pile it up. And if you're a door dasher, be at the door with a smile. That's just the way to be. I think we should wrap up our metaphors when we wrap up our games. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for casting with me, Jay. And we'll see you all next week for another Whiteout Weekly.